Hello, everybody, and welcome back to It's Cosplay Time. As always, I am Chris, aka Mr. Zoom _2028.
I am Harley Francis. You can find me on TikTok at Harley_F.Quinn.
And I am Caity. You can find me on TikTok as the R6 Hostage.
And today we are here with special guests.
Hi, I'm Nikki, and my TikTok username is Nikki, that's niki.muffin. So Nikki.muffin.
Must go follow after. Don't think I'll follow me.
Yeah, I usually make pretty cursed content 90% of the time, and then everything else is wholesome, maybe, sometimes. But mostly cursed.
Content is the best content.
I like cursed. Cursed is
Just
better.
like-
Cursed is the best. It's not cursed, we usually don't want it.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's like no thirst traps, it's like thirst for cursed. Like it's you think it's one thing, and then boom,
Curse traps.
it's curse trap. Exactly.
So
That's
is
the official name.
it kind of like the Batman that he walks, he's got the Harley Quinn from the waist down, then he shows up and it's Batman. It's like, what is this?
Exactly, yeah, something like that. Definitely early TikToks were more cursed, and now I'm just kind of like, oh, I gotta use this platform to like lure people to like all of my other platforms like Twitch and everywhere else. So it's like it bounces. It's like, oh, like first 3 videos are like cosplay, then boom, the next 3 ones are gonna be like TikTok, Twitch related. So it like varies. It's all over the place now. Because everything is marketing.
Your profile now.
Everything is marketing now.
Marketed.
Pineapple Company, please sponsor me. I have already shown pineapples in videos.
Exactly. Yeah, get them sponsors.
All right, the first question, how did you find out about TikTok?
So funny thing, I think it was Musically before. I wasn't on Musically. I was not the OG Musically. But my brother, who doesn't do cosplay or any of that thing, he does completely other things. He got a Musically because he heard that if you go live, a bunch of thirsty 12-year-olds will give you money. And and then I was like, you know what? I'll check it out. So I got it because there were a lot of memes since like Vine was pretty much dead and we didn't have any like anything similar, and like Musically was like the next sort of close enough thing. It's not the same. The energy is not the same. But that's kind of how like I discovered like the baby TikTok like after Musically turned it into a TikTok, and that's when I joined, and that's where like sort of like memes and I like all of the people started doing things, but then a lot of cosplayers started going on that app, and then I finally found the traffic of cosplayers, and that's when I started actively like publishing content on TikTok after that. But primarily it's just like, oh, I want to see what this is all about because it seems like it's going to be the new Vine, and you know, here we are.
So you joined like right after cosplayers had made TikTok.
Pretty much the TikTok, yeah, exactly.
All out there.
Because I keep getting ads for, I believe the cosplayers like Bonky Bonkers, who would be
Bonnie Bonkers.
Yeah, Bonnie Bonkers, who would keep doing
exactly
these like super like cutesy cosplay, and I would keep getting ads for that on and on and on. That's when I was like, all right, this is the time. I finally joined TikTok because it seems like that's where the cosplayers are at. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying cosplayers is what literally jump-started TikTok because of our ads, we have the community that we do now on there. So yeah, so literally after seeing mad ads with Bonnie Bonkers advertising TikTok, and like my brother's saying that like there's a way to like get tipped on it, I was like, you know what, let's see what this is about. I just trying to get people on my other platforms.
Hell yeah.
I think all of us also have at least 5 videos that we've hidden from the world when we were first starting.
Yeah, it's just figuring out how to do the filters or anything. Oof, yes.
I'm ride or die. Just no full send.
It's like not even gonna do 3 takes. Just first take out in the world it goes.
Yep.
That's how I used to be, and I took down like 200 plus videos because of that. I was like, no.
Yeah, I cleaned up my thing, definitely. I definitely cleaned up. I was like, all right, now that I know what I'm trying to do, all the old trash is going away.
You see, my technique for hiding is posting too many videos to where it takes too long to scroll down to the bad ones.
There we
No,
go. Hide
fair
it by
enough.
covering up with content. More content will cover up the bad content.
Joke's on you, I've seen them.
Yes, I know. You and Vandom keep bringing them all up.
And now everybody knows. So now everybody knows if you dig deep enough,
Dig.
you'll
So
find.
that's two profiles. That's two profiles I have to deep dive on. Yours and his.
I don't think mine might not have as much content as he does if that's what he's claiming. If that's what Chris is claiming,
I
then
was
that's
there
gonna
for
be
about 30 minutes scrolling. I was like, I'll get
Oh.
there.
all right. 30 minutes on TikTok. That's a lot. That's a
But
lot.
that's-
Give it to
that
a
was
child
me
and
going
say,
on
hey,
the-
do this.
That was me going on videos, be like, hey, what's this one?
Mm.
Okay, I'll watch it 5 times. Just
Yeah,
like that.
and then sometimes you accidentally hit like a different button and it takes you back to the top of the page.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah. Also, like right when you're watching a really good TikTok that you want to favorite or like, and then
And
you
it
accidentally
Yes.
and it refreshes and you will never find it again.
Or you
Yeah.
forget to like
gone
it. And
forever.
it's like,
Exactly.
TikTok-
Exactly.
Once again, we've said it before, we'll say it again. Fix your stuff.
Please.
Fix your shit, TikTok.
Yeah. Please.
Like,
Please.
make a refresh button. Don't make refresh scrolling.
Yeah. That would actually be nice. That would be nice to have like a refresh button.
They won't listen to us. We're not dancing. They won't listen to us.
No, we're not Charlie D'Amelio or
Or any of the golden children of TikTok.
What's her name? Bella. That Bella one.
Yeah, the other Bella.
Delphine.
Yeah. No, the other Bella.
Yeah,
the,
that one.
the military Bella. The
Yeah.
ex-military. Yeah,
I
the
haven't
She's
seen that.
military. Yes, you
she's
have.
the
The
most
FMV girl,
fun
Bella Porch.
person.
Bella Porch, she's Navy.
Bella Porch, exactly.
Yes.
It's like, yo, she's like the new face of TikTok. It's literally her.
Teleport. I don't think I know her actually.
Yeah, like
You
she's
have
an
seen her,
ex-military person. She's like an
Okay.
ex-Navy. And she does all these like kawaii stuff.
Okay. And what's her name?
Bella Porch.
I always
Oh,
pronounce
okay.
that wrong. I pronounced it as Porsche.
Or Porsche.
Okay, I know exactly who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you've
Never
seen
mind.
her. You've seen her.
Yep.
You've seen her.
I just
At
don't
least
know what, I
once.
just know what her name was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. We good.
TikTok, it is strange. You say these people are the biggest on TikTok, yet they're never on my For You page. What is up with that?
It's the
Yeah.
algorithm. It's the
It's
weird algorithm.
too. I just like anything. So I'm like getting Apex. Oh, that's cosplay. Oh, that's Thirst Trap. Oh, I'm on D&D. Back to Thirst Trap.
Mhm.
Yeah, or my For You page gets messed up anytime my friends send me like really cursed TikToks, and I was like, oh, it's funny, I'll like it. And now it's like, oh, cursed content now on my page.
Yes.
Like, I didn't want all cursed. I want like occasional cursed. Like,
No,
don't
all
give
cursed.
me
No
everything.
curse.
It's like, don't give me the cursest. Oh god.
And it's always like the videos with like the worst quality camera that's always the funniest.
Yes.
That's how I know it's good. If it looks
Yep.
like it was shot on a potato.
Yep.
Potato.
Potato cams.
Yes.
Okay, Harley, I think it's your time for question.
Alrighty. What kind of cosplayer would you say you are? I
Ooh.
know it's a very vague question, but I
It's an open-ended
kind of
question.
cosplay?
too.
It is,
Yeah, there you
I
go,
mean,
open-ended.
but it's good to have open-ended questions because it kind of leaves room for discussion rather than like yes, no, maybe
Yes, no.
type of thing. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna put myself in the professional type of field. I'm not gonna say I'm like a professional cosplayer because to me, like a professional cosplayer is someone who's like Yaya Han or like Jessica Nigri, where like you don't have side gigs, you don't do your day jobs. Like this is the content, you're only making this, and like your also craftsmanship level is like on maybe like to me a
God
professional
tier.
cosplayer is like someone who also crafts most of their cosplay. Like mine is a mix. Like I craft some of mine, like Alyssa from Tekken, that's like someone like something I built and like did other things, and then other things I just pull out of my closet and just be like, all right, yeah, this is Powerpuff because it's basic, it's easy, let's go. It's like something, or like gender bends. I also do gender bends things, but it's just things for fun. It's like more of like a hobbyist, but like do I get to like, I don't know, host parties now and then? Yeah, then it becomes a little bit of a gig, but it's not a gig to a point where I'm like, oh, this is my only job. Please, I do this 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No, it's still more of like, oh, I pull out occasional content. I have certain, I'm happy with like kind of focusing on like certain characters and pushing and developing those cosplays over time. Like I think like my first cosplay was Meiko from Vocaloids, if anybody ever been through that phase. And it's like she's not Miku, she's not Rin and Len, she's not like the most like popular known Vocaloids. Like now if like you go into like a Vocaloid scene, people know like, oh yeah, I know who Meiko is, but she's kind of like she's an OG, but like you know if you really know. But she was one of the first cosplays I've done, and like I still revisit that cosplay like 10 years later to kind of like, oh well, now like back then I wasn't into wigs, I wasn't really into like all these other things, and now I have skills to like improve this cosplay and like do it. So I like to keep certain cosplays and keep evolving them over years, rather than like, oh, new anime's out, boom, here's cosplay. Oh, this is popular, boom, here's cosplay. I like to just kind of have a comfy set of like 15 characters, and if there's something comes out that I really really like and really really resonate with, then I'll do it. But nobody's paying me for this, it's all out of the pocket, so it's more of like a hobbyist things that I enjoy, and it's just like a content that brings me together with the community and other people and everybody else. So I'm a hobbyist type of cosplayer, but like trying to build a nice community here.
Okay, so you're like a comfort cosplayer. You have
Yeah.
your characters that you're comfortable with, and you add to it.
Yeah,
Quality over
exactly.
Quantity.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not in the rush to like, oh, like I don't know, like oh, Demon Slayer's out, I'm gonna have to pick a character and like go on Amazon and go buy it or go make it. Like to me, it's like,
Dun, dun, dun.
hey, no shame in that. There's no shame in that. There's people who do that. There's also like Disney Bounders, that's still a cosplay too. There's casual cosplayers, which is all good. It's still a cosplay. It doesn't matter the way you do it as long as you're having fun and people and you're vibing. You're feeling like the character, and like that's all that matters in the end. So mine is that. If I really like the character, I'll keep them, I'll buy them, I'll make them, and then I have a list of like dream cosplays that like I hope to do eventually, but I have to get there to do them. But yeah, so it's kind of like that.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. All right, speaking of like that list, what is your most like for my question? What is your most want to cosplay character if money was not an issue at all? Who would you cosplay?
Well, I kind of started on her, so money's still the issue because I want to perfect her to like the way that I envision her. But there's a couple. So one of them is Alyssa from Tekken, specifically the latest Tekken. Because I'm more of like an anime and video game cosplayer. I kind of range between those because like that's kind of like the franchises I'm more into. I did build her for Katsucon before the pandemic. That was my last convention that I went to, and that's the con I brought her in. But I would ideally like to like the wings and make everything like cool and mechanic and LED light up things. But eventually. So step one, we sort of got the base down. We're gonna grow and do the rest of it. And the second one is Dead Master from Black Rock Shooter. That's another dream cosplay, specifically from like the first OVA that came out of that. So I think that would be, and like lastly the third one, it would be Genos from One Punch Man. I would love to do Genos, but like arms, I can't even imagine where to start on that. Like I would like everything. I want to be an android. That's the thing. I just want to be a robot. 3D printer made, but like LEDs and wiring things and make things coming out. Like I'll have to get there eventually, but those are like the three dream ones. Is that I want to be a robot. I want to be two robots and a Reaper.
I can dig that.
Yeah, specifically it's just like the mechanic parts. Like if I want to execute them the way I want to execute, I don't want things to just be like a pretty like show, like oh look how like shiny things are. I want things to like light up. I want things to like change and do all these things and like things pop up.
Extravagant.
Which exactly, yeah. Like I want it to be like a big show. I'm not even gonna go into competition with that. Like whenever I'll get to the point of making these cosplays, I just want to walk around and be like, oh yeah, this is sick. I want people to just come in and be like, wow, this is so cool, and I'll be like, yes. Thank you. Exactly. That's all I want to do is just look really really cool and make something that clearly took a lot of time and effort, and it's like, oh, this could be like an anime in person, but obviously like not canon, but whatever. So that's kind of the dream.
I like that.
All right. What is your favorite convention to go to?
Ooh, quite a few, but not a lot. Like I don't go to like every convention in every single state. But if you've ever been to New York Anime NYC, it's a pretty recent convention, as in it's been around for like the past like 3 years maybe, versus like San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con that's been around for like ever. So NYC, I think it's just like really well organized. It like the vibes there are really really good. So you always kind of feel like, oh, here we go. Like there's all my friends. Everybody's great. Everybody vibes. So their organization is really really well done. Considering that like the reason I'm saying Anime NYC is because I compare it to New York Comic Con because they use the same space, which is Javits Center, and just over time, New York Comic Con became so chaotic that I kind of reclined to go less and less to that convention. Versus Anime NYC, where I feel like the organizers there really kind of focus on giving a good experience to people. So that place is perfect for like meeting voice actors, everybody else, specifically anything anime related. That's the #1 place to go. They have an amazing artist alley. It's huge, it's gigantic, and it's so well organized. And just everything else is just catered to giving the best experience to the people who are coming into the convention. So that's one. That's just regular convention. And then I'm gonna say Katsucon because as chaotic as it's slowly getting, it's slowly getting more and more chaotic as they're trying to organize it. But it's just a hangout con. It's not necessarily a convention that you go to meet people. Well, it's kind of. If you want to meet all of your like cosplay crushes and idols, you go there. But to me, like Katsucon is less about panels and everything else going on, but specifically more being in the same space and kind of on the same level with everybody who's participating there. You don't feel like, oh, this is like, I don't know, Leon Chiro, like right there, came from all the way from Europe to here, and now like I can meet with the idol. Oh, whoa!
What is
What
that?
is this?
I don't know.
What just? I didn't touch anything.
I
So
didn't
what
touch
happened?
anything either. I think it's called Together mode. I'm seeing
How do we turn that off?
I do not know. Is this off now?
No, it's still recording. It's just that I don't know what
I
happened.
have because I have grid view on mine. If you click.
Harley, I think it's your computer that did it. Or who just tried to scroll?
I have no idea. I wasn't touching my
My mouse is connected. Yeah. That was me.
Like I was literally moving my hand.
I hit my mouse.
Okay, then it's probably gonna be your computer that has to turn it off somehow.
Oh,
I see 4 people now.
Yeah.
Are you guys in grid view or?
I'm on the large grid, so I see everybody at the support.
I am on stairs.
Yeah, I'm on stairs, and there's a rock to my left.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
I am not on the stairs anymore, so I have no idea.
I'm not on stairs either.
Hold on. Why am I the only one who's still on stairs? How did you turn it off?
Okay, I'm still on stairs.
So if you go to the top right, there's going to be little emotes of everybody who's participating.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and there's a thing that has different modes, like large grid, together, or whatever. So don't do together, because apparently together is the stairs.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
I'm still on stairs. Oh, shiz.
Oh, where'd you go?
No,
well, I see you. You're back to normal on my screen too.
Yeah, like everybody's normal.
I am still on stairs.
Go to the grid view thing then.
Technical difficulties.
Grid.
Leave it to the newbie to fuck
I'm
something
not
up.
touching it anymore. I'm not.
I don't even know how it happened. Yeah, like.
That was me. My mouse clicked something.
Oops.
I forgot I had my mouse attached and I moved it and it just happened. I was like, oh shit.
What have I done?
This is gonna look really funny on the episode. Just normal stairs.
Stairs. But yeah, so I guess to finish up, so Katsucon is just like, to me, it's a great convention for just hanging out. Like, that's the convention that I go to, and I know that everyone from like all over the country comes to that convention, and it's just like the one opportunity to just kind of hang out and chill and party and just show off your best or your most casual outfits, and nobody cares, because it's all about just kind of being in the same space and just seeing everybody dressed up and just having a good time. So to me, like, if you're going for a hangout experience, Katsucon is the place, and that's what I like about it. And beautiful scenery, absolutely beautiful location. If you're in that, if you've never been to Katsucon, I recommend checking it out because they have like really great outdoor places to shoot. So like you can have some very, very gorgeous photographs there. Gazebo, chaos. Never go to the gazebo. You will never be able to get a shot there anytime soon. Over the years, it became too crowded, but otherwise it's fine.
So, and where is this one located again?
So that one is in Maryland. It's really close to Washington D.C.
Okay.
So that's Katsucon, yeah, and Anime NYC is New York, because NYC.
Okay.
Ooh, the farthest I've gone for a convention is Texas.
Bro, so
The farthest I've gone for a convention is Virginia.
Oh, so yeah, so it's kind
2
of
hour drive.
Virginia, so yes, it's kind of close. It's kind of close. It's like Maryland, it's a little close to Virginia, a little close to Washington D.C.
Okay.
Oh, I wish I could go to conventions.
Yeah,
I'm stuck on an island.
Yeah, Katsucon happens like around Valentine's Day, so like
I won't be able to go anyway.
Yeah.
I need a passport to get out of Canada.
Oof.
And then my island, we only have 2 conventions. One's like an hour drive for me. The other is a day fucking drive. I'm like,
Oof.
Damn.
but I go to 1 convention a year. And
Yeah, like,
I am so sorry.
But also like money, like conventions are expensive, so like I feel like like just in general, I feel like anybody who's like starting out as a cosplayer, because I feel like with the pandemic, a lot of people like dipped their toes into like becoming cosplayers and like doing cosplay. So like even before COVID, like the scene was like very vast. So like when I started cosplaying, like the only known people were like Yaya Han, Jessica Negri, and like a couple of other like handful people, because you just kind of see them at every convention because they would be like the only known cosplayers to general public. But now, because there's so much talent, there's so many people out there who are doing this, the list now got bigger. So now you have like, you know, hey, in your local state, you have these kind of like, you know, your local celebrity or whatever, your local group of cosplayers, exactly. And like now you don't have to like, you know, try to grab those names or whatever, because they're kind of doing their own thing at this point. They're still like showing up and they're still guesting because they're like, you know, top of the industry. But also it's good to see that there's like variety of talent. So now people are more open to like, oh, like, you know, I want to do like my local convention and start that. And then you actually have the talent to bring in there and not be like, oh, I gotta like pay for hotels and pay thousands of dollars for all these people to come in. Which I feel like was also the stigma back then. It's where like, oh, if I want to be a cosplayer, I have to like travel everywhere, spend all of this crazy amount of money, like everything like that. No, it's okay to be a little like lenient. Like pick the cons you want to go to and like just go there. Like pick like the 5. You don't have to kill yourself over going to a convention. Exactly,
Volunteer.
Exactly.
Volunteer, you get in free.
Exactly. You can volunteer, you can do an artist alley, make some money, and enjoy the convention. You know, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Exactly. But like it's nice to see that like the community, although it's becoming a little more mainstream, I'm gonna use quotations because nothing I think is truly ever mainstream. It's just different exposure. But that also has like its benefits because now like everybody has access to like, hey, back then there's only 3 cons and now there's like 400 cons and I can go to the one in my state. So like try out your local scene. Get to know your area.
I just cosplay randomly my town. I'd be like, all right, time to dress up. And I walk out, go to Walmart. I'd be like, I'm here.
Exactly. See,
that is literally how I got invited to my first con, was just by cosplaying out in public.
Yeah, see, there you go. Like that's how you get to know. Like just get to know in your area, and you're gonna be the celebrity. They'll be like, oh, that's the one famous cosplayer, and you'll be like, yes, that's right.
The thing is, with the mask, nobody knows who I am.
That's my goal in every town I move to.
I mean, even in general, when you're in cosplay, nobody will know who you are because you're like a different person. You have a wig, you have contact lens, you have makeup on. Who is this? I don't know. I don't know who they are.
A little girl thought it was a princess.
That's like the most wholesome things. Like when little kids be like, "Oh my God, are you like the real life version of this?" I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
I'm here, and you're amazing. Keep doing.
I got that when I was dressed as Deathstroke.
Yes.
Like a child? child
so-
should not be
yeah.
watching Deathstroke.
I don't know. A child came up and grabbed like the thigh armor I was wearing, and I was like, "Oh, whose kid is this?"
Yo,
Like,
who
where's
child
your
is
parents?
this?
Yeah. Where's
Where
your
your
parents?
Spit this one out.
No, this one's Batman.
Who has spawned this one?
Exactly.
No. But no, I normally like cosplay like princess. Like I would wear this big ass puffy fucking yellow dress.
Because it
Like-
makes you feel powerful.
Hell yeah. And I've been running
Mhm.
across the street, like dresses hiking up. Gone.
Jolting.
Booking it.
No shoes either. The best thing. Most stores you're not allowed in without shoes. My dress is that long, they don't even know.
You don't know.
Like,
You wouldn't know. How would they know?
how would they know? How would they
How
know?
would they know?
How
They're
would they
gonna
know?
know.
How would they
How
gonna
would
know?
they know?
Exactly.
People are gonna say this for years from now and be like, "What are they? Why are they all doing that? How would you know? How would you
Yeah.
know?" It's like it's TikTok language. It's
Yeah,
TikTok
exactly.
language. God.
Vine died. We have to hold on to some sort of meme culture.
Exactly.
We're a clingy, traumatized generation. We have to have something to hold on to.
How will we know that somebody can relate to us without making a reference
How
to
would they
see
know?
if they
Exactly.
know?
Exactly.
It's like the whole hit or miss thing.
Exactly.
I guess
I never missed, huh? Exactly.
Oh God, I feel so cringy for bringing that back.
But that
Oh,
was.
no.
But honestly, that is one of my early TikTok. That was literally one of my first cosplay TikToks. Is that because I did like 3 like random ass videos that like nobody cared, and the algorithm on TikTok was like even worse than it is now. And then I was like, all right, it's time to do a cosplay TikTok. And literally the first thing was hit or miss. I was doing a gender bent Donald Duck from Kingdom Hearts, and it's the wildest thing ever. And I think
I
it got
see
like
that. I see.
it got like 500 views, and I was like, oh my god, how did people find this?
Actually,
How
I
did
think
you
that's,
find
that's
it?
when I followed you.
So
might
even
be
more
following you
iconic.
then.
Maybe Donald Duck is the reason I'm here.
Donald Duck. Thank you, Donald.
And I hate Donald. He's the worst. He's the worst Kingdom Hearts character. I hate him.
He must be a healer.
Bro, just that meme of Donald Duck in Kingdom Hearts just pulling out the strap.
Like I legit
I'm
cosplayed
sorry,
it
what?
eventually for the memes.
He pulled
The
there's
gun,
a meme
the
of
gun.
him pulling out a pistol.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
'cause
know
he's
where
like,
you belong on TikTok. Don't worry, I thought the same thing too before I realized what he was talking about.
yeah, well, unless
Okay.
it's the gun version.
All right, I'm not alone. I wasn't
Well,
gonna open my
I
mouth.
mean there are certain websites you can probably go to check that out.
Let's not promote those. We're
Both
not
versions.
sponsored by them.
Oh my.
Careful with the lashes. Careful with the lashes.
I know. That's.
The makeup. You put so much effort.
I did. I can't afford to cry. I can't.
This
'cause-
exactly this expensive foundation. We can't.
Why are you looking
I
up?
don't wear makeup.
'Cause
I
need
don't
to cry.
wear
My
makeup 'cause I
foundation is
randomly cry.
$48.
Oh! No.
Hi. Well, I think it is my turn for a question, and I am curious: is cosplay a hobby for you or medication?
I would say it's a little bit of both, because I definitely, like, the first time I tried cosplay, I did because it was like, oh, me and my friends, we were all into kind of anime, and our local area happened to have a convention, which is now kind of big. It's called Anime Next, but back in then, it was kind of like a very local, tiny thing, and back then it was like freshman high school. We're like all kind of like, you know, little weebs in our own little corner, doing art, talking about anime. Nobody else cares about us, and that was kind of like, oh, like let's see what this is, because it's supposed to be like, you know, the gathering of our people in our local area.
People.
And yeah, because like all of us kind of, there was enough of us, there was 5 of us, and we were kind of like, oh well, we can do like a Vocaloid group. So we actually like got together, we picked Vocaloids, which we were gonna do, and we came as like Vocaloid. It was scary at first. Scary, and like you feel like the first time you do it, you're like, everybody's looking a bit weird. Why? Like what is this? Like I regret all of my. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but okay.
Exactly. Like the trip to the convention is like the most like nerve-wracking experience ever. It's like
Yes.
like you being on stage without your underpants. That's what it feels like on the way
Yep.
there, because like everybody's like, who the heck is this? Like nobody knows who you are, also because like anime wasn't mainstream back then. Again,
Oh,
facial
yeah.
mainstream. So like, especially if you're doing something niche like Vocaloid, like John Johnson doesn't know who Vocaloid is. He maybe seen like a Pokemon before. He knows what Pokemon is by like cultural osmosis. But Vocaloid, what's that? So the way like you're traveling there, like you're either like on a bus or you're like on a train, or you could be in a car. The safest way is to go anywhere in the car. But if you're on the public transport of any sort, like it's the most nerve-wracking experience. Like instantly you regret. You're like, oh my god, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have just worn a
shouldn't have done
t-shirt. I shouldn't have done this. This is terrible. But then like after like the weekend, like after my first weekend at a convention, like after I like sat down and processed everything happened, I was like, wow, this was actually so much fun. Like I loved being in the costume of a character. I liked people like some recognizing, some not caring who I am or not, but like being able to just kind of like have like this like sense of community. And then all of the next years I didn't care. I like wanted to dress up as the characters I really wanted to do, and it just kind of went like it became an addiction after that. It's just like, oh yes, opportunities to go to a con, let's go. It's an excuse to dress up. And it's just like I'm a huge like prop maker rather than like cosplay maker, because like I do buy like either parts of cosplay or like and modify them, or like buy full-on cosplays, or like do a little bit of mix of both. Like Jill, this is easy. Like this, I'm not gonna like sew my own T-shirt, but will I modify a shirt to make it look like Jill? Yeah, like it's pretty much there. Like some cosplays, you don't need to do everything from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, but I'm a huge prop maker, and I even have a YouTube channel where I used to do a lot of like props tutorials. So like making Dante guns, making like different like all anything like sort of weapon, doing like 3D manure gear from Attack on Titan. Like I really love that aspect. It's just being able to create like these cool things that don't exist, like weapons and like all of these other details that like you can't just like get most times. So that was like a huge interest of me, and kind of what pushed me to do cosplay more, is just kind of like, oh, I can make all these cool accessories that I get to just sit and work on for a while and then put it all together, and you're like, wow, this looks great. Because that's another thing about cosplay, is that like when you like make all of the pieces separately, like I have the moments of like, this is gonna look horrible, this is terrible, like this is the worst thing I've ever made. And then once you put it on yourself, you put the wig, you put the makeup, and you're like, wow, never mind, like why was I even doubting myself? This looks great.
I feel
And
it.
like having that feeling of accomplishment, and that's like the same thing with like all of the friends who I like dragged into cosplay with me over time, because like they were the same. They were afraid of dipping their toes in the water. They were like, I'm just gonna come in the shirt and just like whatever, just like walk around and see things. Once they tried out cosplaying, they're like, that's it, I love this, this is addicting. And they try to like make their own outfits and everything, and like the freedom, you can do whatever, like you want to like make a version of like, I don't know, Link, but he's like street style, you can do that. Like the freedom
Exactly.
to do whatever.
Yes.
That's what like
Modern
later
Link.
drags people in. So it's like you either can go like super armored perfection, or you can just like, hey, I'm gonna do my own spin, I'm gonna gender bend this and make it street style, and boom, that's gonna be that character now.
You can cosplay your own characters.
Exactly. And that's what like really like got like addicting. It's just like making
Yeah.
that. So like in that
Yeah.
like to a degree, that's what therapeutic is. It's just like being able to just kind of like set back and like relax and enter this kind of world where
You
you
can
can just
leave
be
your own
whoever.
body.
Exactly, yeah. Like where one, nobody knows who I am because I
Or I
literally
got like
like
20 pounds
shapeshift.
of makeup on.
Exactly, I shapeshift. You don't know who I am anymore. And then two, you just get to just kind of like not think about all of the other things in the world for a bit, and just like enjoy the craft, the community, the process, the everything else in there. And that's kind of what really keeps bringing me back to cosplay communities, that like I feel like is doing that, is being as creative as I can, like freely in the community, but at the same time just kind of like, that's a nice little opportunity to like, let's take time away from the daily routine to craft something, to make something, to dress something, and make some content. And that's something different in my day. So I would say it's more therapeutic more than anything. It's definitely a good balance of like therapy and like everything else.
Yes. Okay. I
I
like
need
that
to go grab
answer.
my charger real quick.
Oh.
You are just fine. You do that. I'm gonna grab
What?
something too.
Everybody's leaving.
You know what? I'm just gonna bring the whole thing. Screw it.
What is that? Oh,
I just want chocolate.
I feel it. I want chocolate too.
I have Kit Kats. I'm waiting.
I'm still munching.
No, but I totally recommend, even everyone that's watching, go to your freaking local thrift store. Go to your thrift store.
Yes.
Bruh, like, I cosplay Hostage, which is my TikTok name. $25, $30 Canadian max is what I spent.
Literally,
And the most expensive thing was the duct tape.
you can find amazing things when you thrift. Like literally, like you never know what you can find. Also, funny thing, we were at a thrift shop like a while back, and they literally had a full on costume of like the pom 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 girl, the like wait like that. It's like a very known like meme saying dance back in the day, but they legit
It
had a
sounds
full outfit for like $25, and I was like, this is a steal for somebody out there. But this is a steal. Like you never know if you don't dig around, find it.
Are we no longer dying?
No.
Yep, computer is good now.
Nice.
A child.
I guess it's my turn for a
Mhm.
question. I say the best thing, how would you recommend someone to get into cosplaying if they're too scared? How would you, like...
Literally to everybody I say, just do it, literally, because that's like you just gotta jump into the water. That's how it is. Like just as an example, for like one of my friends who weren't sure how to like do a cosplay or like how to even start, I'm like, pick a character that you like, that you would want to do. Like pick a character that you either relate to, you think is pretty, you think is your body type. No matter what, you like the character, you like the design, for whatever reason, pick a character that you really would want to do, and just do it. Like either like pull on a casual look with it, wig or no wig, doesn't matter, but like put on something that you would feel, oh, this is what this character would wear or is wearing, and then just go from there. And if you're going to like a con or anything, definitely go with your friends, because going there by yourself is definitely like a scary experience. But it definitely helps to get into the community if you have at least like one friend who is also interested in doing that, because that's how I did. Like we were all noobs. We were never like my first like cosplay experience. None of us ever did cosplay before, but we're like, hey, this is something we like, and there's enough of us, and we all can pick someone that we like. So let's just do it. And that's kind of what happened. We did it. It was scary at first, but then it was great after. Like once like the weekend is over and you're like recovering, literally like the week after you did your first cosplay, you're like, I want to do this again. This was great. Why did I not like spend more time in the hall or like spend more time talking to people? Like you realize just like, oh, now I know how to react in that space. Now I know what it feels like. Now I know what to do next time. And that's like once you did that first step, you're done. So not to be afraid, because like the thing is, that's the beauty of cosplay, is that you can do whatever you want. You can be any race, you can be any gender, you can be any shape, you can be any size. Just like pick a character that you really like and just do it. Just do any version of it. Use your real hair. You don't have to.
Fun.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to have the contacts. You don't have to have wigs right away. You don't have to have like armor and weapons right away. Just like get a little piece of that character and put it on, and then just see how you feel. Make some content, take some photos, because the point of all of this is like to dress up and feel badass. Like the character supposed to make you feel awesome, and like if you put it on and you feel awesome, that's it. You did it. You cosplayed. Congratulations.
Perfect. Yes.
You've done it.
And sometimes you can accidentally cosplay.
Exactly.
I've had that happen to me, actually. I was end up wearing a green vest with an orange shirt, and someone whipped around and was like, holy fuck, you're gender bent Brock from Pokemon. I was like,
ooh, I guess I am. I guess I am.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I literally got a free Pokemon plush. Someone like ran up and gave me a Pokemon. They were like, here you go.
Oh, amazing. Also, easiest cosplay. Please watch Death Note L. White shirt, jeans, have some cake. and have Gucci bags under your eyes. Just don't sleep for 3 days, and boom, you're done.
Grab some black eyeshadow and stuff.
Exactly.
Your eyes. Done.
You're done. Literally, anytime you wear white shirt, jeans, could be cosplaying L. You'll never know. Could be that. It's just like
know. How would they know?
Exactly. They would never know.
Exactly.
And then like there's like so many other things. There's also like another way, like if you really, really like, oh, like what if I don't know if there's local convention? What if I'm not ready to just do it at a con? Halloween. This is your time to dip your toes. Why be like a bunny or you can be a bunny. You can be like a bunny version of anything. It doesn't matter. But like if you really are scared and you kind of feel like you might not have friends who might be kind of like into cosplay, or you feel like your friends will judge you, Halloween, nobody judges anyone on Halloween. So like if you really want to like first time try it on Halloween, and then after that try it at a convention, or try it at your home, or try making some content as that character. Take some pictures, feel badass, and that's it. That's all you gotta do.
And especially when you're doing that as a character making content, there will always be people that will like it.
Yeah, exactly. There will be people in the community who'll be like, yes, do it. Exactly.
I just keep remembering little me in 2008 dressed as Itachi.
Yeah, see, there you
go. With my real hair like down to my shoulders and to his little ponytail thing.
Yeah, like for the longest time, like when I first started cosplaying, for like at least like 2, 3, maybe 4 years, I like refused to wear wigs and things like that. I'll be like, no, I have to do a character that has my hair, and that's how we're gonna roll with it. And then later you discover the magical wigs. First time, sure, it's a little uncomfortable because you're like, oh my god, it's hot on my head. Everything is like I feel like there's like a band. You get used to it. You get used to it, and then you're gonna be fine.
I legit come home. Like I come from home
my
from work,
head is
and I'm
too
like,
big
I need my
for like
wig.
70% of wigs.
No, the wigs are stretchy.
They're stretchy.
They're stretchy.
I have found out that I have a tendency to go for extremely pale characters with white hair. And I think that's just a personality trait at this point.
I'll share my white one with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think like from like most cosplays, like started with the present, like mine was like I would look for a character that has like my body shape and like my hair, and then later I was like, oh, I can just be anyone. Why am I restricting myself to these like frames?
Don't restrict yourself.
Yeah. And then like you could also there's people who just pick one character and they just do all versions of that just one character. There's people who just like, hey, I'm only gonna do all versions of Zelda. That's it. Or all versions of Harley Quinn. Or all versions of Batman. It doesn't matter. Or just one version of Batman. That's it. That's the only cosplay I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if that's what makes you feel badass, that what makes you feel like freaking amazing, boom. That's it. You did it. You done it. You're a cosplayer. As a cosplayer, you're not. There's no requirement. There's no requirement. The only requirement, the only requirement is to have a good time and feel like the character. Are you feeling like the character? Boom, done. You're cosplaying. You did it.
Right now, even just wearing a wig, you're technically cosplaying. And like right
exactly.
now, I'm my own character right now.
Exactly.
I don't know what her name is yet, but I'm like.
but she's here and she's serving, so boom, she's here. Exactly. So if you're too afraid, just try it on Halloween. But literally, the only like how you start cosplaying is you just do it. You find the piece, you find the character. You don't have to have all of the wigs and the contacts and everything right away. But just like try to assemble that outfit on yourself, whichever version of outfit it is. And if you feel like them, there you go, you did it. And then just go on from there. Like it doesn't have to be perfect right away. You can keep building. You can upgrade and build.
Do it.
Exactly. Just do it. That's literally the
Nike.
How you do
just
it. Exactly.
Do it. Make your dreams come true.
Exactly.
Shia LaBeouf.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday.
Is that how you pronounce his name?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
What did you think it was?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I thought
I'm a big Transformer nerd, so I learned at a really early age. All the youngsters must be playing hide and seek.
But yeah, speaking of people who just do the same costume, there's always a Bumblebee cosplayer. Like a full-on Bumblebee at every convention. Any convention you go to.
There will always be a human Bumblebee.
Exactly. So like you know that they did it. They're like, that's it. I've completed my life. I'm just gonna keep Bumblebee.
There will always be a Deku.
Exactly,
Oh, it's
exactly.
Deku. I actually scared the shit of a Deku.
And there's always going to be a Harley Quinn too.
Exactly.
Oh, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're really scared, like especially for female, even males, if you want to do like best cosplay I
Something
found,
safe.
cosplay safe always, and Raw Unstoppable and Kim Possible, easiest.
Yeah.
There, like any American cartoon,
Yes.
design is easy. Like Powerpuff Girls, literally color block dress and a belt. You're done. That's it.
Done.
You did it. So like literally, if you're like, oh, these things are complicated, pick like something nostalgia. Like you like this character from like your childhood. Boom, you can make it happen. Or Disney.
Johnny
There's
Bravo.
so many. Yeah, exactly.
Disney is I think Disney's like comfort characters for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes.
I don't remember who was next in questions. Who asked that
Was
last?
my
I think it's
turn?
you because because Hostage asked about oh no, I think you asked how to start. I don't know who asked how you start cosplay. There we go. So yeah, so Hostage is
Okay.
you.
Your turn, Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah, so Chris is
Okay.
here.
What is your favorite and least favorite thing about cosplay?
Okay, both of them are the same answer. So my favorite thing about cosplaying is the community, but it's also at the same time my least favorite thing about cosplay, because so
You'll have
on
gatekeepers.
on the good side, community, at least like from my experience, which I was very lucky, it heavily depends on your circle of friends. It's not necessarily literally everybody in the community. It's mostly people who you talk to, people who you interact, and people who interact with your media, who stick around and support you and vibe with you and do all of that stuff. Because in concept, you're all supposed to be just nerds, loving what you do, dressing up and chilling at the same place, enjoying the merch, the art, the music, the everything about this. But then also we have all these new people coming in because like I've been through like different eras of the dark era of the community because like when the first time I started cosplaying like 10 plus years ago, we had extremely creepy like there was no such thing as like signs that say cosplay is not consent. Like when I started cosplaying, that wasn't a thing. So you would see people creeping around, people pretending to be photographers being creepy. So we've passed that. Luckily, we upgraded.
The
We
dreaded
learned
paddle.
exactly the horrible
Trust your
yaoi
gut.
paddles. The yaoi paddles. The people dressed as Kakashi poking fingers in people's butts randomly anytime you dressed as Naruto or anybody else. Like that was dark era. But it was also the era where you kind of learn and you become a weeb and you figure out all of these things that like you like and dislike and how to manage and handle situations like that. But now we have this new wave, thanks to TikTok and everybody else kind of like joining in on cosplay, who now are policing how you're supposed to cosplay, which is never a thing in the community. So it's kind of like, so you have these kind of like double-edged swords. Like the community itself could be great when done correctly, but also at the same time you have all these people who are new, who are not veterans, who think that they know how cosplay should be done just because they have access. Like back then when I was cosplaying, Amazon Prime did not exist. You had to, if you wanted to buy your cosplay, you either had to commission somebody who hopefully knew how to sew things, or buy it from a shady eBay link, which may or may not would have got you the costume, scammed you, or sent you completely wrong thing. So there was no access. Like, but now we have thousands of stores that carry different cosplays that bring out new cosplays as soon as like a new anime comes out. You have Amazon with wigs.
Have, like, the teaser of a trailer.
Exactly. So we have all of these like access to the community and stuff, but also at the same time you have all these new people who are coming in who are kind of like, oh, casual cosplay is not cosplay. Yeah, I was like, who are you? You don't make the rule. You didn't create this. Like you're nobody. You're not allowed to tell me what to do. Or like there's people who are like, oh, how dare you add your own accessories to like this character doesn't have tattoos or whatever. You can't be this. Or like I don't know, you can't be a gender bend because it's not canon. I was like, you're not canon either. They're a 2D character. They're not real. You can literally be this character. Yes, they're not real. Now, like, if I was pretending to be, like, I don't know, like a celebrity Johnny Depp, then yes, there's a difference. There's a difference there. I'm trying to be a person who's real, who actually has family and life and other things. But if I'm pretending to be a cartoon character from a foreign country, I'm just having fun. I like this
bro,
character, and I'm dressing
If I
up.
want to be a human Sonic that has long hair,
Exactly.
female, I'm gonna be a human female Sonic.
Exactly. And it's still Sonic. It doesn't matter. Yes, that is Sonic
Exactly.
right there. That is a Sonic. It doesn't matter. Or like I can be sexy Valuigi. Yes, that is Valuigi. You can make Valuigi like that. It doesn't matter.
I've
So
seen so
you
many.
can literally memeify, do whatever, which is the great part is that there will be community there will be members of the community who will hype that up, who will love it, and then there's always going to be people who are going to find something wrong and going to try to tell you how to do it. And the importance to remember that it's like, hey, no, in the end, if you feel comfortable what you're wearing, if you feel confident in what you're wearing, and you're having fun, and you're not hurting nobody, then good. And surround yourself with the people that also have the same values and that. And ignore the people who clearly don't know what this is all about, who think like just because like they entered and they do something a certain way that, oh yeah, this is how you do it, because that's not true. That's not there's no rule book, there's no law. Exactly. So like I love the community because like luckily for me, like yeah, I had some bad experience where people would just like, I don't know, do dumb comments or like, I don't know, like harass here and there. We had that. But in the end of the day, I have a very like strong circle of friends who are in this community and who raise me up, who hype me up, and we hype each other up and we're having a great time. So it's important to remember that like yes, there will always be someone who for some reason will not enjoy what you're doing, but there will also be a lot of people who do. So it's kind of trying to find the perfect balance of that. It's like, hey, like don't be discouraged from doing it just because somebody says like, oh, you're doing it correctly, because no, you're doing it correctly, you're doing it your way, and that's the point. That's the point.
The only correct way is if you're having fun.
Exactly.
That is the correct way.
Exactly. So the community is great because like you are surrounded by people who are with the same interests, who are here for the same idea and to have a fun and a good time. That's what makes community great. But also there are sides which makes the community also pretty bad and pretty toxic. Especially like with the recent, if you've been like following like things that have been going on in the community, because there's drama, because like it's with any following, whether you have like 50K or you have like 20 people following you, you're already part of the community. You're not obligated to know everybody, but there's always going to be something going on. So it's important to like stay away from the drama and kind of keep with like your friends and vibing with that.
Agreed.
So you have a choice always to just like stay away from the drama.
Look at them and be like,
yeah, exactly. And the drama is stupid too. Like there will be people who are like, "Oh my god, you stole my cosplay." I was like, "You're literally doing the same character, and 100 people are going to be doing the same character. Nobody's stealing anything. What?" So
I
there's
said
people.
that as a joke. Like it's like fuck, I was gonna do that cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh well,
like,
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Exactly. Like it's not a competition, and unless you're doing an actual competition where you have to put your skills to the check. But otherwise, it's not a competition. Like don't compare yourself to everybody else, because everybody's different. Everybody has different amounts of time on their hands, different amounts of skill, different amounts of money, and like
An experience.
Experience, exactly. So like some people could be like amazing at what they do from the get-go, and some people takes like 10 years to get where they are. Like it doesn't matter. And like another thing, like I feel like with a lot of like newer people who are like jumping in stuff, a lot of people look into the numbers like, oh, like my tracking is not good, I'm not getting like this many like engagement or whatever. But like the whole point is like you're doing this for you more than anybody. Like that's supposed to bring you joy, unless you plan to make it a full-time. But if you're planning to make this like a full-time career, like where numbers are important, like you really have to evaluate and put a lot of other things in mind. Like, hey, do I have the right skills? Do I have the like photography there? Do I have like the time for that? So you can't just kind of like like nothing is comparable. Again, everybody's so different. So like most importantly, it's like remember that you're doing this for yourself more than anything else, and that's what will like lead and drive you to where you're going to be in the community. So, and hopefully it's going to be the good place and not the bad place. Not the competitive and like gatekeeping place.
Exactly.
The gatekeeping assholes.
And numbers ain't
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. And it's like it's so similar because like I don't want to like bring on other platforms because like I bounce like I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Twitch, and like all of these platforms could be super toxic because everybody's like, oh my god, like I only get like 2 views or whatever, or like nobody liked this, or like
It's
oh
not
my
like
god.
that. I got 2 views.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
yo, 2 people saw me. Like, if I haven't posted and I was sitting in a room, like, nobody would be engaging with me. Like, wow, somebody actually, like, watched and liked and interacted. That's awesome. But more than anything, I posted because I thought I looked cool. That's number one reason. I'm posting it not because, like, I want everyone to tell me I look cool. I want to look later and be like, wow, I actually, like, did that. That looks awesome. I did this. I got out of my comfort zone, or I did something and I was proud of it. And even if, like, I will look 100 times better like 2 years from now doing the same thing, at least I have something to compare to and be like, wow, look at this upgrade. Like, look how much I progressed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Focus on
Looking
that.
back on content is important.
Focus on that more than anything.
Definitely.
I actually have a question that kind of goes with that.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
You mentioned earlier about cosplaying normal people. Are there any normal people that you'd like to cosplay?
Oh no. I personally like no, like there's people who are extremely talented shapeshifters so they can just look like Johnny Depp and other things. Blows my mind. Incredible makeup talent. But I find it personally kind of weird if I want like cosplay like a real character. Like I also I don't think I do. I gotta check my Instagram history. But I don't think I've ever done like a live action like where like a real person is playing a certain thing. Because like to me, I always like I feel like I try to go for like a cartoon version. Like oh, if there's Avengers, like I'm not gonna be like the Natasha Romanoff played by Scarlett Johansson. I'll be like oh, a potential like a random cartoon character that turned into like Natasha Romanoff.
Okay.
That is now like 3D version of that.
So like the comic version.
Yeah, exactly. So like
Okay.
I just don't like. To me, I find it kind of weird if I'm gonna try to like imitate someone, because like in New York City we have like an amazing cosplayer called like NY Tony Stark, who literally looks like Robert Downey Jr. and he does Tony Stark Robert Downey Jr. So not just like any like Tony Stark or like Tony Stark the character. He kind of tries to do like oh, this is the actor playing this character, but I'm a cosplayer playing an actor doing this character. So it's a little bit meta. But like, if that's something that you do, it's fine. But it's not something that I personally kind of like connect to, because I feel like if it's a real person with like real life and stuff, like I don't want people coming in at me like I don't know, asking me things, and I was like, I'm not that person. I don't know them. I don't know what this is. Yeah, because like to me, it's like I don't know, like a celebrity or whoever. They're a person. Why imitate something that already exists in real life? Like it's there. Like I'm bringing things that don't exist to life, and like that's what I get joy out of. But to me, it's like it's a real person, their real life, and I don't know if I'm like hurting their feelings by pretending to be them. I don't know, like that's like my thought process. Like if I were to pick someone, I'll be like, I don't know, because like I don't know them personally, I don't know their experience. Like even if like I've read a bunch of articles about their life or whatever, to me it's kind of weird. Like I'm trying to be somebody else who exists, who people know, who people recognize. I would rather be like a character who can be anything, because we don't know, because they're a character who we only see episodically. We don't know what's happening like behind closed doors there. So I would rather be something that is a little bit more open-ended than like someone who has like a real life and like a real history and everything else. But hey, if you're a crazy shapeshifter, good for you. It's just something that I am not personally comfortable with. So I can see that. Just don't do real people, yeah, or wanna be like real people. Because I was like, I will never get like a penthouse like they do. I have like my own house, whatever. I have my own house and my own cat. That's fine with me. I'll be that.
Now I gotta think of a question.
Yeah, because there's a lot. Like community is like, and like just cosplay in general is so like it's like such a layered cake. There's like so much going on.
Yeah.
But like the main thing is just kind of like just have a good time, 90% of the time. TikTok helps definitely. But also like with everything, like I'm gonna like drift off as you like thinking about a question, so maybe that will click somewhere. But I feel like in comparison, like yay technology growing and stuff like that, but like obviously when I started cosplaying, like my Instagram account slowly turned into a cosplay Instagram, and then later I had like my my real job Instagram for like all the normal people to like know about and all of this stuff. But like kind of like seeing interactions and kind of what kind of traffic and community and where I'm standing in the community, it slowly evolved into like, oh, this is gonna be a cosplay thing. But I feel like now everybody's kind of at this mindset, because back then, again, we didn't know video games could be a job. We didn't know that like playing video games or making reviews of random things on the internet could be a job. So we didn't have an access to that. But now I feel like so many people try to make anything a job, which is fine. Like if you're enjoying doing what you do, please do it. But I feel like now there's some people who are just like chasing the concept and the idea of like, oh, like I have friends who are teachers and they have a lot of kids who are like, when you ask them, hey, what do you want to do? They say like, oh, I'm going to be like a Minecraft streamer, which I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, I'm glad you like Minecraft, but also, do you know what goes into becoming a streamer or being a content creator? Because it might sound like it's fun and easy on the side, but as someone who kind of like is in the middle, because like I don't like get money. I have Patreon, but it's like $1 and you get to see my selfies and my progress pictures of things. It's not like anything. It's not a full-time job, and I like, put things like on Twitch. I play games in there because I enjoy playing games, and like, it's not a full-time. It doesn't pay enough. It pays for groceries, but it's something that I definitely take as a hobby that if it does kick off, I have enough experience in the community as a cosplayer and as a content creator that I know how to deal with like, okay, haters or other things that might be coming. But if you're someone who just kind of like, oh, I think this is fun and I'm going to be really good at it because I think I'm good at it, let's do it. Like, you don't realize until you start actually committing a lot of time or a lot of your availability, start scheduling your life around that of, oh, hey, this is actually hard, or like, oh, I'm getting disappointed by numbers and other things. So it's kind of learning how to, what do you want to do in the end? Like, there's no easy way. There's no easy job out there. So some people who are dipping their toes into like cosplay because they're like, oh, well, I'm like a general standard of pretty, therefore I will be great at cosplaying because I just put on a wig and do bare minimum effort and this is good. This is going to be my job. Like, it doesn't mean that like, oh, just like start going in there because you think it's easy, because it is not. It's not. Nothing is easy. There is nothing easy. Like, as soon as you're going to start realizing that you got to post like 3 photos a day, it becomes hard work. It becomes annoying, and you become more reluctant to do that. So it's kind of like I feel like a lot of people are dipping their toes, like, which I'm great. It's like, great, dip your toes, but also like dip your toes because not because you think there's a monetary value out of it back. Like, if it somehow turns into that path, great for you. But like, don't have such high expectations when you're going into. Like, go in there because you think you're gonna have fun and you're generally enjoying it. Because the more it starts becoming kind of like a job for you, you're gonna start looking at it really, really differently.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
I feel it.
Yeah, like, it's just like from like just having friends and like other people I know in the community who have like either their content creating is their full-time job, or like they're doing it half, or they're just starting, and just hearing all of this experience is kind of like, it's really important to be fully self-aware to a degree. Know your comfort zones, know what you're like, what kind of triggers you. So if something like that, like, you're not aware and it happens to you, you get really, really disappointed and really, really discouraged, which kind of sucks because it's like, hey, I want the community to be good and fun for everyone still. And like, if you're chasing numbers, if you're chasing fame because you think this is easy and this is a new hip thing that everybody's doing and this is the trend, so if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get like rich and famous real quick, like, it's not going to be the case. Like, with TikTok, like, one day I woke up with 35K. It would never happen. It was like a very dumbass video that I deleted later. Nobody even sees that video anymore. All because of drama within TikTok. And I didn't want to be associated with that. So it's like, and now like my traffic is like up and down. Like, one day I get like good views, other day I get good views, but like, don't make that like, oh, this is definition of me. I was like, no, I post shit because I think I'm funny. And I hope somebody else will think I'm funny too. And that's it. That's the only reason I'm posting. I'm not trying to like get something out of it. I'm getting joy just putting content out of it. That's what I'm getting out of it. But yeah, that's kind of like a weird ramble, but whatever. So something like that.
Makes sense,
I feel like I feel like a lot of people are hopping on like, oh, everything has to be monetized, everything has to be bring me money, everything has to be like either giving you numbers or whatever. But it's kind of like you have to either have a mindset and be ready to make something into like, you know, your full-time position, content making or whatever. Otherwise, just enjoy, ignore the numbers, meet people, like interact with others, content creators. It doesn't have to be all about making this like big, making it big or making it a job. Like the whole point of it is to have fun weebing out and doing things that like everybody else is finding interesting as well. Rambles, lots of rambles on that.
Question.
Rambles, but it's truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How would you deal with content block?
Oof. So when I have content block, I just kind of go back into older content that I've posted to kind of see what's there. Maybe something that I could upgrade. Maybe I could like improve, retake. So a lot of it is just either going back to like throwback stuff. Like if I feel like, oh, I'm stuck, I can't do anything else, I try to shift my mind on other things. But also, I'm like all over the place. I do a lot of variety of things. So like if I'm not in the mood to like stream because I feel like, oh, like streaming takes like so much time out of like an energy out of you, because it's like 3 or 4 hours consistently just like doing something. Yeah, exactly. So like if you're like, I know that if I can't be like zhuzhed up 100% or 150%, because like when I'm in cosplay or anything, to a degree it's a little bit of a different vibe and a different persona than like when I'm, I don't know, in my pajamas at my home. Like that's different. Same with like if I have a gig and I'm like at a cosplay after party, there's a different persona there. There's like someone who has to be like, yeah, let's get hype, everything is lit, let's go, it's fun, let's go. And then all the other, like if I feel like I can't give that 150%, like then there's other outlets that I can do. I usually try to like just draw a little bit or come up with like different concepts, just like keep doing something that does not require as much energy as it would making content. Like, oh, like I need to put something out on Instagram and I have nothing, I have zero ideas. I would either post something like a throwback or go back and revisit, be like, oh, let's see, like, oh, 4 years ago I did this, let's see if I still have it, let's put it on, let's see how it's gonna look like, because now like maybe I have a better wig, maybe I have a better like makeup skill than then, and then just kind of like reamp some of the older content, because that will at least like get your mind going of like, oh, how can I improve this, how can I make this better. But if you're really kind of like no energy for that either, just go to a drawing board and just kind of throw some things around. Like look at some outfit inspirations, be like, oh, like maybe I'll do a streetwear this version because now I'm kind of vibing because I see a lot of people doing something similar. Or even just going on Instagram, Pinterest, any Twitter, and just look for inspiration. Like get inspired by other people, because it's not always gonna have to be like you making content. You can get inspired by other people. So it's a little bit of that. So if you're feeling block, go get inspiration by looking at other content, or just kind of produce a lot of tiny content, and one of these things will click. As long as you're not burning yourself out, being like, oh, like I spent 4 hours on this and it looks like shit. It could happen like that, but like don't burn yourself out by like pushing yourself when you're clearly not feeling that, like, oh, this is not working out. I keep doing this and it's not working out for whatever reason. It's like, hey, step back, take a breather, and look at something else. Like, clear your mind, cleanse your palate, and then something will hit. Typically, it does the work. That does the effect. But usually just looking for inspirations. There's so many like talented illustrators, talented just like fashion people, and like something could be like, oh, hey, like, you know, I like this. I kind of see a character in this. Let's do it.
I like that. You know, that does make a lot of sense, because, you know, it kind of gets the old juices
Yeah, exactly.
flowing,
Like
yeah.
seeing and feeding yourself other content and other media kind of gets you like, oh, I can do this. I can do some of that. And with TikTok, it's easy because like if there's a trend going and you can't be really like, you feel not creative, you're like, okay, fine, I'll do the dance.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's fine. That works. That's
I'll do the
something.
dance.
Yeah, exactly. That's something. So yeah, so with
I feel
TikTok,
like that's
it's
something we've all
easier.
said.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
At
it's
one
easier
point,
with
I'll do the
TikTok.
dance.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I saw the whole like I'll do the nya.
No,
Beta.
bring back this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Caramel
Like
dancing.
Exactly. Caramel dancing. Let's bring that. Let's bring that back.
Is
The
that
caramel dance. Yes. Yes.
God, I hate it. I hate it. I hate
It's so
it. But I
catchy.
can't.
It's so catchy.
It is.
Rockefeller Street came back like 3 times.
Oh,
So
God.
sometimes just like doing like revisiting older things, or just see what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
There's no shame in doing what everybody else is doing.
Just best thing.
Because
Jump
it
in
means-
cosplay and do a
It's
trend.
popular for a reason.
Exactly. So if everybody's doing it, there's a reason why everybody's doing it. There's no shame. You don't have to be like completely original, because there's no such thing as a completely original idea. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And then you might get like some people who are like, I created this, give me credit. And I was like, well, I don't think you really created this. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. Like, unless I'm
Yes.
completely plagiarizing,
Yes,
like
yes,
I'm
yes, yes.
saying I made it, then yeah, okay. But if everybody else is doing it at this point, it's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a whole other part of the drama. It's where people try to be like, I started this. I was like, okay, you did not create this unless you actually did. Like, unless this is like an original dance routine or whatever. But if I'm doing Caramel Days and Dance to a different song, I did not create this. Do not
Do
give
not
me
come
credit.
after me unless you're gonna go after every single other
Exactly.
every
exactly.
other creator.
Every creator. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the thing on TikTok. People will try to get famous by creating drama.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
Yeah.
because everybody wants that tea. Everybody wants to be in the know. Everybody wants to know what's happening, because there's so
Yeah.
much. You can't just follow every single creator in the universe, because it's so much. You have no time to
Yeah.
actually check and keep up with every content creator. So it's like,
Yeah.
stick to the circle. But like, yeah, if you want to be nosy, it's good to be informed, because there's sometimes like pointing out like toxic people or like toxic activities in the community is not drama. It's actually like, getting rid of predators, potential people, and actual like harm to the community. But if someone like, I don't know, like did something, then like, I don't know, copied someone's dance, or like did a similar styled wig, there's no drama. That's not drama. That's just you being petty. But like knowing the difference between like drama and like actual people taking action against something serious, people need to know the difference between that. Like calling
Yeah.
someone being predatory, that's not drama. That's serious business, and people need to actually know.
Get the fuck.
Exactly. People actually need to get that account banned, blocked, reported, and like let the staff in cons know that, hey, don't let this person in because they're problematic. But someone, I don't know, like my boyfriend broke up with me or whatever, that's not drama. It's whatever. It's your own personal life,
Petty.
and you're
Yeah.
just being petty. Like, no, please, you can't get your ex banned just because you had a bad relationship with them. Like, that's no
Unless
that's
they're
no drama.
abusive, that's a different story.
Exactly. Unless
If
that's
you and your
involved.
boyfriend break up, it's okay. But if you and your boyfriend break up and he was abusive,
Exactly. So like people need to know the difference. But I feel like some people just like try to just start drama out of nothing, and it's like this. And 99% of it is just gonna be pettiness. It's just gonna be some pettiness, which is like, all right, do you really want to waste your time and energy on that? That's your choice. How you want to spend your time, your choice.
yeah.
Which on TikTok is a lot. Like the funny thing, I'm just gonna give like a little anecdote, but the thing is like back in the early stages of TikTok, where there were those two brothers who did like everything really fast. They were everywhere and everybody was hating on them. I didn't care, whatever. They were doing
Jaden and his brother.
I think so, yeah, who did like very like Jim Carrey-esque type of like facial expressions. Yeah, exactly. So like, it's not content for everyone, but like, if you enjoy it, you enjoy whatever. If you don't like it, just scroll past it. That's like my logic.
Exactly.
It's like if I have nothing constructive to say, then I'm not gonna say anything because it's none of my business. Like I'm not like ranting at your job or whatever. I'm not your boss. I'm not gonna tell you how to do things. So if I don't like the content, fine, I'm gonna move on, whatever. If it's actual harmful content, yeah, I'll report it because it's problematic. Yeah. Get rid of it. But they were doing their own thing or whatever. But back in the early time, there was a thing called like TikTok Mafia. I don't know if anybody was in there in that time. Yes, exactly. So the big thing is that it was literally before the pandemic. It was really wild. So a lot of TikTok cosplayers, TikTok creators. We got Kayomhi. We got I forgot the name. I'm sorry if I'm botching everybody's TikTok names or whatever. There was a whole big group of these content creators who never met in person, but they were like, duetting, and duets were doing really well, and that kind of became like, oh, we're friends now, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So a good portion of them came to CosplaCon because that's where like all content creators meet if you're in the cosplay community or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was a gender bent squall, and like I saw some of them passing by. I was eating, by the way, so it's not a good time to take photos or videos. And they were going somewhere, so I thought it would be funny because I was like, okay, don't approach me because I'm sitting and eating, but they're across the street, so I'm just gonna like record them because it's like, oh, like for my own memory, because I was like, oh, I saw this person in the distance. Like if I saw Tom Hiddleston in the distance, I'll record him because I was like, yo, there's a glimpse. There's a glimpse of a celebrity. I want to take a picture of that.
Hell yeah.
So I recorded them. And then they noticed, and they actually came out. I was eating, so it was a little weird. So I was like, oh, I didn't mean for you to start a whole conversation as I'm eating with my friends, but hello, whatever. And that was the guy who, at that time, was known as Clap Daddy. Yeah. So I had a whole interaction with him, and he gave me $1 that he signed. So I have $1 that he signed somewhere in the box of things away, far, far, far. It was a weird experience, but I was like, okay, cool, he's interacting with me or whatever. So I posted on TikTok. It got 500,000 views. All of the people who follow me right now, all of the numbers you see, it's all the people who I guess thought that now we're friends because he interacted with me for a split second at a convention. Yeah, because literally it was just like a little conversation. I didn't follow, like I was just like, I just know this guy because Moses on TikTok, like you're like the big mafia boss man. And then literally 2 days later, after CosplaCon, all of these allegations came through, and all of these horrible, horrible things came up about this guy. And I'm like, oh, well, this is fucking awkward. Time to delete this TikTok because I don't want to be associated with this person, and I don't know this person, but also clearly they're a piece of shit. So
yeah,
bye-bye. And that account got like closed and all of that other things, and they disappeared, so I don't know what the heck they're doing now, but they were gone. So good for community for getting them out of there, and exposing that. But that's not drama. That's like actual like serious concern. But a lot of people took it as drama of like, oh, like whatever, they just want to be famous or whatever, blah blah blah. It's like, no, this person was toxic. But that's like how I got my numbers, and I got exposed randomly because of that random ass incident in the convention where it had nothing to do with anything, but it just happened, and I thought it was funny, and I posted it, and 2 days later, you find all of these horrible things coming out. Yeah, they're like, yeah, delete. So yeah, so that's my experience with TikTok and cosplay. Fun. We got it all.
Yeah, I remember those mafia times.
Yeah. It's important to just like also not to idolize creators, because they're also people. That's like kind of rounding back to your question about why would I ever cosplay like a real person. That's like another thing. It's kind of like even like people who are actors, like celebrities, whoever who we might idolize. It's important to not idolize them. Like remember that they're still people. Like like they bring us joy on screen or through books or other things. But also if you put them up too much on the pedestal, we can excuse like very toxic or problematic behaviors just because we're like, oh, but like I want them to notice me, I want them to be like my friend or whatever. But it's like, no, they're still a person. Like if like they don't want to be your friend, it's fine, don't take it personally. They're a person who makes and creates things, but there's like a real person behind that. So comments, their actions and stuff like that, that matters, and that has consequences because they're a person. Like don't
respect their boundaries.
Exactly, and respect the boundaries. So it's very important to remember that it's like, hey, like, yeah, you might appreciate people's content, but also at the same time, don't just like make them like your god, that they're better than anybody else. It's like, because they're not. They're just a person who does things. So that's what's important, especially for all the youngsters who are like joining in the cosplay community and tend to be kind of like, oh my god, this like person with big numbers or big following or whatever. Like I want to be their best friend. It's like important not to get advantaged off, because that could easily happen as somebody sees that there's a power balance happening. So that's really important. It's just being aware. Like cool to have friends, but also like don't like try to be celebrities. Yeah, exactly. Don't take it too far. Yeah. Which happens. It happens in any community, and the cosplay community especially.
Sadly.
Not to go into a group topic.
Is it my turn to ask a question, or who's...
I think so. I think so.
All right. What is your favorite cosplay that you currently do?
It's Sombra from Overwatch. That's like my most consistent cosplay. I love her. I love Sombra so much. She's my main. Yeah, I keep forgetting to log in when they have new skins because I was like, oh, I gotta get the free stuff. I got the new. But I absolutely love Sombra. As soon as they announced her, and like that's when I got into Overwatch. I love that character so much. She's just so fun. And like it's a character I really much enjoy. And I've been doing different versions along with like the main version of her to every con I go. It's kind of like one of my like staple cosplays, unless I have a different lineup. But most times it's gonna be Sombra. Like if I had to pick like, hey, which cosplay you're gonna wear for this event, I'll say like, hey, if I can, I'll wear Sombra because I like it. She's comfortable, and I have so many versions. I have like Cherry Blossom that I've made up version of her.
Oh.
I have like regular casual pajama ones. I'm starting to become a diva main, so I'm slowly trying to get diva as like a potential. But I feel like there's so many divas and not that many Sombras, so that's why I also like Sombra is because like Sombra is not like a super used Overwatch cosplay character, and that's like I like her. She's a little bit unique, so it has like a nice little balance
Definitely.
of like you don't see 100 Sombras at a convention, but also she's someone who's comfy and it's someone who I enjoy wearing all the time, anytime, whatever.
Definitely.
So that's I would say that's the one that I wear the most. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm planning on doing a Junkrat. I don't know how.
Yes. Oh my god, you would make a great Junkrat.
Kara.
Oh,
I
Thank you.
I remember doing Diva. I ended up getting a morph suit of Diva. I had the morph suit on. Someone was like I couldn't wear a bra because it was like that tight. I thought it wasn't see-through. Someone came up to me and they're like, "Hey, I can see your entire underwear." I was like, I legit ran into a bathroom, grabbed my clothes, and actually threw out the outfit. I was like, no.
Yeah, it's also like it's hard because like props to anyone who cosplays Spider-Man because like my Alyssa that I had to do. So my Alyssa that I built, so she's like a completely built cosplay because you can't find Alyssa cosplay the new version from Tekken anywhere online. They have the like there's some websites that sell like original the first version when she was introduced, but I don't like that outfit. It's a little tacky in my opinion. Just for me, something that I know I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing. I want to wear something else. But that is a full-on morph bodysuit with a dress on top, and I can't pee in that at all. Like, I need assistance because everything is attached. So props to people who wear morph suits because you wearing that all day, it is a lot of effort. You're like in a hot bag, so like you really need to like make sure you're staying hydrated. But also, if you need assistance, have a buddy, please. If you need to like use the restroom, because anybody with a morph suit, a full-on bodysuit, props to you because it's a lot. It's hard to wear that.
Yes.
It's also hard to do armor cosplays when you need to go to the bathroom.
Exactly, and you're
especially
like this.
all the straps, all the Velcro,
Exactly.
or when you can't fit into the stall with your armor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck,
Like most times, not a healthy habit, but if like, because for cons I usually do like Thursday, like if I'm doing a 4-day, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday are like lenient days, so I wear cosplays that I know I'm gonna be very comfy in or whatever. And Saturday is the big day where I'm gonna wear the most uncomfortable but coolest looking cosplay that I have. And I know that day, at least for like 6 hours, I'm not drinking, I'm not eating. Bad for you, don't do what I'm doing. But also at the same time, I know that like also you have the hype. You're like on adrenaline, so you kind of forget to eat and drink because you're like, oh, I gotta do all of this.
Bro, I get so nervous I can't eat.
So don't dehydrate yourself for cosplay. Like know your limits. But I know that I've definitely pulled days where it would be like, oh, like this whole day I'm gonna eat at like 6 p.m. Yeah, that's my first meal and my first drink of the day.
Yes, I've took it to myself when I go to my con. I will actually go up to like those big cosplays. I'll be like, "Hey, have you ate? Have you had your water?"
Good, check on them. They need it.
I check on my cosplay. I check on everyone. I just mostly worry about big cosplayers, like, not like big stars, like they're fucking like
Master Chief armor and stuff.
Yes, Master Chief. I've seen someone come in with the Warhammer orc. like with the stilts and the shield.
Oh.
Like I ran up to them and his assistant. I was like, dude, have you guys had any food, any water? They both looked at me. They're like, I'm like, I'll be right back.
What is food? What is water?
Get some snacks, please. Get some
I legit
snacks.
got to a point where I used to carry a bag. Like, even if it didn't match my costume, my cosplay, I would carry a bag with nothing but water and snacks.
That's good. Yes.
And I'd be like,
good.
water. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, because that's another thing. Like
cosplayer
food
pass out.
at conventions is so expensive. It's like a Disneyland experience. They're like, oh, you want water? That's $5. And like vending machine has it for like $2. And I was like, am I really that desperate to be hydrated to pay like $5 for water?
You want this granola bar? Give me your left arm.
Exactly. It's literally like that. So like as after like first con experience, like I learned that it's like I gotta bring some snacks with me, like some granola bars, gotta bring some juice or some water, or like an energy drink if I need to, but also I need to be aware it's like, okay, how many bathrooms are there and how big are the lines? Because ladies' room, always infinite line.
Always.
Horrible. So you need to prep for that.
Safety over cosplay.
Exactly.
If you are hurting yourself in your cosplay,
don't
take it off.
Exactly.
Take
Don't push yourself to your limits because it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I've been at a con where I've watched this girl pass out because she was wearing a corset that was too tight. I actually had to take scissors and cut it off her.
My God,
I
don't
dragged
do
her
that.
to a bathroom so she had the privacy because she was wearing nothing. I dragged her. While like me and security were dragging her. I took scissors. I was like, we need to get this off her. Like you could see her.
Yeah.
Like, she was turning purple.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I asked her, like, while she was still conscious before she fucking passed out, I was like, how long you had this on? She's like, I came here at the start. It's almost the end. I'm like, that's almost 8 fucking hours.
Exactly. No. You gotta,
I start tearing at it. I was like, getting it off. She was like, don't ruin my cosplay. I'm like, I actually slapped her. To this day, I don't know her. Slapped her. I'm like, your health is more important than a fucking cosplay.
Yeah, exactly. It's very
important. She ended
up
coming next day and thanking me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't know your limits and don't push yourself to somewhere you feel like you're not going to be comfortable with. It's very important to do that.
I think conventions do need like to bring in like the portable air conditioners though for a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
That'd
it gets hot because of how
especially
much. A lot of them are like
hotel
warehouse.
conventions.
Yeah, a lot of them are like warehouse-esque, where they'll have ventilations and things like that. So it's kind of like, oh, get ready to like sweat buckets. So like, if you're lucky if you have like some like outside area where you can like take a breather, and it's important to take breathers.
Yeah.
Like definitely take breathers.
Bring Gatorade to conventions. Electrolytes are important.
Yeah, exactly.
That or Pedialyte.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Exactly.
always look out for your cosplayers. Male, females, always watch out for your like female cosplayers, the younger cosplayers.
Yeah,
always,
exactly.
especially if they're some more revealing. Keep an eye out for them, please.
Yeah, exactly. Like we definitely improved because like back then like revealing cosplay creeps everywhere.
Always.
But now like good thing as a community we're growing, we're evolving, so there's a lot more people who are like ready to be like, yo, you being creepy, like fuck off, like cover people up, protect them. So if you have people so if you have people who will step in and protect you, but you also have to be like conscious that like, hey, we gotta be also better and educate people like that who are being creeps and being gross, that like, hey, doesn't matter revealing or not, it's not for you, it's for them. They're feeling confident, they're feeling sexy or whatever, it's mostly for them, it's not for you. And this is not a treat. They're not catering to your services. No, like ask for pictures, always ask for pictures, don't be a creep, don't take booty shots without people knowing, and then like ask before you touch,
and
hug,
before you,
or anything.
I have dressed very puffy. I've actually thrown myself in front of cosplayers, female mostly, where they're like, I see a guy taking a photo of lower half, and I will throw myself right in front of her. I mean, oh shit, you taking? I will say right there, oh shit, sorry, are you taking a picture? And she turns and like, who the fuck are you?
Exactly. Like always ask. Like it's a whole other thing because like I know sometimes like trips to cons could be hard because like if you have to take public transport and you're like, I don't want to change in the bathroom, or I don't have a hotel room where I can change it and like get to the destination. Yeah, exactly. Just like bring a bag. Like sure, like it's okay, your cosplay is not gonna be ruined by you bringing a bag with like having something that will make you feel comfortable covered up or not. But yeah, because like people on the street, they don't know that you're going to a convention, and hopefully surprisingly like they're not a piece of shit and won't be like, oh, why are you half naked going somewhere? Like, I'm gonna take an opportunity to start talking to you. I was like, no, I'm going to a convention. Please leave me alone.
If
The
people are
amount of
bothering
people
you,
I have
act weird,
threatened
crazy.
with
Just
my
of
mouth.
randoms, because there's so many randoms, like, because like in New York City, like I'm lazy. I was like, I'll take like a 20-minute train to a con. I don't need a hotel right across from the thing because I'm gonna save money. I'm not gonna pay $600 for the weekend where my home is 20 minutes away. I might as well just
Exactly.
do that. But that means sometimes you're wearing the entire outfit all the way there. And will there be people on the subway going like, yeah, I'm texting, but like I'm taking a picture because something out of regular life is now sitting with me in the same
Yes.
space. Like, and I'll call them out. Or I'd be like, whatever, fuck it, take
I
it.
always like if I have like revealing clothes and I'm walking, I always have my hand like revealing. I hand down here, up here like this, middle finger, and down at the ass, middle finger. So if anyone's taking
Exactly, yeah.
pictures,
Yes, like
Exactly.
the amount of people that I have threatened with my mallet in the dark Dallas streets because I'm walking with underwear looking shorts right up my ass that are red and blue
Harley
with
Quinn.
a tight ass shirt that says Daddy's Little Monster. No, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, and there always
I
could be
am
some
Daddy's
dude
Little
who's like,
Monster.
oh,
I'll
hey,
fucking
I
send you
was
to hell in a minute.
Stop.
Exactly. Because there's always gonna be somebody who's like, "Oh, hey, like I'm gonna approach you." It's like, what any part of this said that you can approach me? Which part of this says
Like
that
unless you're
I'm
coming to geek
approaching?
out. Come
Exactly, exactly. It's like exactly like you probably don't even know where I'm from. Like, what character am I? It doesn't like, what? Hello? Has anybody taught you like the basics of human interaction?
And if
If
you're
you're approaching me respectfully, it's different though.
Exactly,
Like
it's
if you're
different.
like,
Like,
oh
if
my
you're
god,
saying,
I love this, but instead
yeah.
of like, hey baby.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, I'll be your Joker. I was like, no, you're
Yeah.
not. You're not
I
even
ship
dressed
Ivy,
like.
motherfucker.
Exactly, exactly. I'm looking
Exactly.
for Ivy. Goodbye.
And if you're in a cosplay where it's a revealing and they are crazy,
Mhm.
being character.
Exactly. Be
Freaking
crazy
out.
back. Exactly. Exactly.
Some of the blood on my mallet is not fake, and I can't tell you the people it's come from.
Yeah. They're unrecognizable. Do you want
Exactly.
next?
One of them I actually did on an interview. The guy that was behind the camera asked me to hit the guy in front of the camera with my mallet, and I said, "You sure? Did he consent to this?
Yeah, it's
Because
like
he's
you
not going to be
consented.
conscious."
Yeah, it's like you consented, so it's fine.
Yeah. That's like when me and Zoom are meeting up, I'm being his hostage. I gave him full consent to dive bomb me as my profile picture on
Exactly.
Skype.
See,
I
ask
need full
permission.
consent. Just kill me.
Ask permission.
Ask permission, and they say yes. There you go. Strong yes.
Strong yes, right there. I'll even write it in words if I do die. Right there. I have video, written, and like everywhere consent. Everyone will know if I die, it was consented.
Exactly. Exactly.
It just went too far.
That's actually happened, and the guy still got in trouble for it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
they filmed it and everything. It was sad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying, Zoom?
what was I saying?
I don't know. You said well, and then I cut you off. I forget.
I think that was just verbal thinking noises.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, she did. Time to hide the hostage.
I think it is your turn, Harley.
my turn. Okay. Well, outside of cosplay, what are your interests?
I do streaming. I do. I really like video games. So, thanks to a degree, thanks to COVID, I got all of this time on my hands. So I was able to kind of commit and dive deep into like my passion of video games and kind of specifically go into the gaming thing. I also do lots of arts and crafts. I make custom Mickey ears also, so I run a little shop.
Wow.
Yeah, less Disney, more anime. Like, cause I like Disney, but I'm not gonna say I'm like a crazy Disney fanatic. I don't know every single like line from every single movie or like every single song from every single Disney movie. But I like the idea of Disney bounding, and I like the idea of Disney and like exploring Disney. So I do things where I mash anime and Disney. So I use Mickey ears and make them into like your favorite My Hero Academia characters or Demon Slayer characters. So that way, for people like me who are more into anime or video games, who also like and enjoy Disney, can Disney bound as non-Disney characters to Disney. As if like, hey, let's place those other animes into a Disney world. I'm creating Kingdom Hearts, Loki. That's what I'm creating. I'm just merging other franchises
Hell
with
yeah.
Disney on the side without Disney knowing until Mickey Mouse comes knocking on my door.
Sooner or later, it's gonna be a reality. Disney's gonna own everything.
Yeah, it's called monopoly and capitalism. But yeah, outside of that, my real job type, I'm an interior designer, so it's very
Hell yeah.
very very corporate, very brain type jobs. So they don't know that I just goof off on TikTok as a character because they can't find me. They won't recognize me, which is the good thing about all of this is that if any of them eventually find me, I feel like they're not gonna think it's me, which is good. But yeah, so have my regular day job. But outside of that, I'm a big weeb. I like to collect figurines. I collect pins. I'm a huge art collector. I write a book on the side. I gotta finish it at some point of life. I draw. I craft. I play video games. So I'm all over the place. I try just to get myself occupied as often as possible. And I used to do like YouTube and vlogging and stuff, but that kind of like died off, and I switched to doing streaming instead because I found it a little bit more in my area.
Yeah, you're more engaged with your.
Yeah,
viewers.
exactly. Yeah. Like I liked making content for YouTube because like you kind of sit in front of camera or like you craft things and then you edit 4 hours into like a 15-minute thing. But then kind of like I don't get to engage as much as I do with Twitch, and Twitch is like live and real and raw, and that's what I like about it. Is like it just you get to do lifetime, prime time interaction with people and just kind of build. There's a lot of screaming and just kind of build a community and like relationship with your audience, like right there and directly, rather than being some person on the screen making TikToks and all stuff like that. So yeah, two very like Batman, two very different lives. Very professional one and like a very geeky one on the side.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is my turn.
Yes.
It is. On that note, I am gonna go to the restroom really quick because I have had to go for the past 15 minutes. So you continue. I will be right back.
Yeah, hydration station.
Yes. I hate myself.
Hostage, should I ask a question while you're thinking of one?
Please.
All right. What is your favorite type of pizza and pizza place?
So I feel like I'm gonna get some hate for this, but also, why should we all hate on people's preferences? But I really like the Hawaiian pizza. Yes, all right, good. We're not getting hate in here. Nice. We passed the vibe check. Some people make a huge deal of putting pineapple on pizza. I love it. It belongs on pizza. It's a nice combo of sweet and like oily and meaty. It's perfect. Salty. And salty, exactly. It's a perfect combination. And you get a little bit of fruit in your overall unhealthy meal. So technically, it's slightly healthy because you put some pineapple on it. And there used to be a very good pizza place. I don't know if it's still open or not. It's in Brooklyn. It was called Luigi's Pizza. It's a very, very like family-owned like brick oven pizza. I love those. But if I'm ordering from like a chain, Domino's, let's go. Yeah. Domino's Pizza.
I have tea on Domino's.
Oh, you have tea? I would love to hear some of that. I would like to hear that.
but not on the show because we don't want to get Domino's after us.
Oh, yeah, but unless Pizza Hut wants to sponsor Pizza Hut. I actually, you can't. Let's see if can I change my background? Let's see. Choose background effect. Okay. Perfect. I'll do a non-blur, regular. It says Pizza Hut delivers. You can't see the pizza, but there's a little emoji that looks like pizza. It says Hut delivers. So that's my meme of my Twitch stream of this month. It used to say Taco Bell, but now it's Pizza Hut delivers.
To be honest, it's still the same thing because you can always find a Taco Bell Pizza Hut together.
Exactly. They're like a family joint at this point.
Or KFC Taco Bell.
KFC like I've seen a KFC Taco Bell and a Pizza Hut all in one. I was like,
that's like
never leaving. I live here.
Holy Grail, you gotta live there.
Go to Toronto.
Of course, I come back to the food conversation now.
Yes. And now I'm hungry too. Now I plan to make a healthy meal today, but I can't have pizza now.
I'm either thinking pizza or a cup of noodles.
Yo, I'll sell my ovary for some noodles right
Yes, that's delicious. But yeah, like the reason I want Pizza Hut is because they have the cheese crust, and that's what I want. But otherwise, Domino's is closer, so have to go for Domino's.
now.
I mean, Little Caesars is pretty good. They have the pretzel crust with queso under the cheese.
Oh, okay. I don't have Little Caesars is like too far away from me. Like the closest pizza I have here
Pizza.
are like local pizzas and like Domino's, so we gotta go for Domino's.
Pizza Hut is my shit.
Yeah, Pizza Hut delivers. Like
Or
the sign says.
CC's.
Sorry,
Ooh.
mates. I only have 2 pizza joints in my area, and I work at one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we're technically getting Little Caesars that's being hooked up next to our
Pizza.
bar.
Pizza.
Anytime somebody says it, I'm gonna say pizza.
Yeah, it just has such a ring to it.
Oh,
And
we're
it's the
thinking
whole
of a different
pizza.
pizza. We're all thinking, okay, no, in Toronto there was a place called Pizza. I remember the whole jingle, their phone number and everything. 967-1111, call Pizza.
If they had taught us all jingles in school, we'd all be geniuses by now.
Yeah, if everything was just a jingle, that's it. Sorry,
There's
Axel's
a reason
crying.
I failed math.
Me too. I passed with an 8.
Oh. I just deleted math from my brain as soon as I graduated high school.
I feel it. Same. The only math I do is for D&D.
The last day of my high school sucked so bad because I had emailed my teacher, not like completely informally, and was like, "Hey, Mr. Dude, so I'm failing, as you know. Can I like come in and do some diddly stuff and like, maybe pass, even though I have like 16 hours to graduate?" And he was like, "Be in my room at 6 a.m." And I showed up. He gave me a packet. It took me hours to do, and I finally turned it in. And he just looked at it and threw it in the trash and said, "All right, you passed." I said, "Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?" He was like, "I just wanted you to show up. The extra work was just for my amusement." I was like, "You."
Wow, savage.
Oh,
I was
don't worry.
so
my
mad.
teachers hate me. My
He
teachers
still
hate me.
uses my email though. That the informal email that I send him, he still shows it to students and says, "Students, do not be this, please."
At least you left a legacy. Questionable legacy,
yeah.
but it's there.
My whole family
yeah,
was a legacy at our high school.
I like that chocolate in my throat.
Hostage, did you think of your question?
I'm just gonna shoot a random
It's
ball.
passing
What's your
along
favorite color?
Purple, orange, and navy blue. They're all equal. But purple the most, probably.
You just said they were equal. What is that?
It's okay. There's always one favorite, but purple
Always.
is top, and they're technically equal, but like purple is a little bit on the high.
So it's like this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. Like it's pretty much equal. Pretty much equal.
Pretty much. It's 32. Instead of it being 33, 33, and 33, it's 32, 32, and 34.
Yes, exactly.
Or
Purple
35.
number 1, but orange and navy blue are also there.
Okay. I kind of want to mix those colors together and see what happens.
I know, right? But they have to be with paint because markers will just.
Oh yeah, no. Markers will not work. They will not mix.
Well, you can do it digitally. Yeah.
It'll still be muddy.
Now I have a question for you all. How you come to do this kind of interview show podcast thingy? Where did the idea sprout?
Yes, that sounds.
Where was it birthed? And
It was birthed 2 years ago with me and a creator known as Zombie Sailor. When we just decided to start like a podcasty show, and then it evolved into an interview show.
I mean, podcast is pretty much an interview show. You just do discussions.
Yeah.
And then Harley and I went on to a show called Demon Interviews.
Ooh.
Multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That sounds pretty successful.
Yeah, it is. I just got invited. I didn't get a message. and the time zones would be like 2, 3 a.m. in my time. It's like, hey, you up for an interview? I'm like,
Yeah, because it's like
Walk
7
go by.
p.m. 7 p.m. where I am.
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah, because New York time.
Oh shit, you're
It's
only an hour
7
and a half.
p.m. for you? Oh wait, it's 6 p.m. for me.
You're
I
only an hour
got
and a
What am I
4
talking
p.m.
about? Why did I think
8:30.
Wow.
Welcome
Look at
to my
all of
time
us
zone.
from all different
Damn,
zones.
none of us have anything the same. Okay.
At least you guys have the hour off. I have the hour and a half. I have that
Oh
extra
yeah,
half.
true.
It's a
You got the
form
extra
special.
half.
Honestly, I thought because you messaged me and was like 2 p.m. Pacific time, and I was like, okay, and my brain was like clicking saying that my time currently was 2, and so I'm getting ready by my time, which is like 6 hours ago. And I got ready and I messaged him and I was like, hey, yo, so just to make sure I'm right with this, will you right on the time? And now it's just now clicking that all 4 of us are.
All different time zones.
Yep.
All from different parts of the community. Gotta have a community settlement everywhere.
Exactly.
Howdy,
You gotta have
y'all.
the Canadian. Always. There's gotta be a Canadian in the group.
Mm-hmm. Though I'm technically
Honorary
Russian.
citizen.
Hey, kind of figured. I was hearing like the slight
The
accent.
accent, yeah. Originally
it.
from Russia, and then came here, became full-time cosplayer, and invaded. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't. I'm not.
Lies. Oh, don't worry. But
I'm
hate
trying.
the
I'm
military
trying to
boy.
get to the Russian side of Twitch, and I can't. I even put in my description that I'm Russian and I speak Russian, and I'm still waiting for someone to just write something in Russian in my chat.
Have
Haven't happened yet.
your language in Russian as like.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah, on my any of my streams, I put en/ru so that way they know Russian is there, and they're like, no.
You might have to actually have it like Russian, like Russian language as well thrown in
All right,
in
maybe.
your title.
I don't know.
But
I've had to hit the translate function on my TikTok comments so often since I'm on the Russian side of TikTok. With
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the good thing about TikTok is that they have the hold like the comment and translate button because
Right.
that's
Yes.
very useful. Like Instagram needs to get on that shit. Everybody else needs to get on that
Yes.
shit.
I
Like
had
that's
Russian
one
comment.
good thing. That's one good thing about TikTok is that they have the translate button.
But then when I'm on Instagram and I think I instinctually go for the translate button, but it's not there.
Exactly.
Yes. It's only in the captions, and it's like, why can't I translate the captions?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I want to see the comments. I want to know what they're saying.
And then I have to go into Google Translate to
Copy
find
paste.
like
Yes.
try to find what I'm looking for.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I feel that.
And then it translates really stupidly, and it's like, I
Mhm.
still don't get what you're trying to tell me.
Because
Exactly.
it's a correct translation.
Mhm. Exactly.
Or there are certain I think it's a few Russian words that don't translate even on TikTok at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends because some of the Russian is now kind of like it's called Runglish, where it's like a mix of Russian words and English. So that you can't translate because it's more of like a how do I say that? Like a pop culture word. So like unless
Slang. Okay.
yeah, like a slang. Yeah. So some things become like a slang over time. So like you like if you type like a word like the actual word in Russian, like English will not be able to translate it because it's partially an English word mixed with a Russian word that made that. So it's like, this is how it exists in translation. So you need an actual Russian person to come in and translate.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard for me because 45 to 50% of my audience is in Russia.
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
And,
I mean,
and, the rest is here.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like Russians have like a mask kink or something like that.
You do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, mystery face. Let's go.
To be honest, everyone has a mask kink.
Yeah.
If you say you don't, you're denying it.
Like, masks are cool, I'm not gonna lie. Masks are cool.
Especially for mine, though, since these characters and this one are all Russian operators from a game from Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Okay.
He terrorizes me.
And
Yeah,
I'm also sponsored somewhat by a Russian company called Grey Shop.
Oh, I don't think I know them. But also there's...
They're a Russian military surplus.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well,
Can I get a
contrast.
discount code?
Yeah,
I just want Russian gear.
No, they
Russian gear.
no discount code, just free stuff sometimes.
That's good.
Whose question time is it?
Well, you went because Hostage was trying to think of one.
Question, then I got one.
So I guess it's my turn.
Yes.
And in that case, I'm going to ask, at what times do you find yourself cosplaying? Like, what times in your life?
Like times as in like when I'm depressed, or times like 8 p.m. What kind of times are we
like
asking?
mental times, like
Um,
do you cosplay more when you're happy or when you're sad, or like what characters do you do depending upon your moods and different?
So I'm not gonna
times.
like to a degree usually when like I, at least back then, like when I was not in a really good like mentally state, like very like not happy where I was currently is and stuff like that. I did find myself kind of cosplaying because like that's what made me happy. So it didn't really like, oh, I'm gonna be sad and make sad things. That was kind of like, oh, the solution to sadness is to dress up because dressing up makes me happy. But yeah, exactly. But like now, like I like now it's like in a weird, like I'm in a weird life position, so I kind of just like cosplay when I kind of like, oh, like I have this, I'm in a mood, so let's go and do that. Also because like again, I'm like a person who doesn't pop like a new cosplay really often, so I either have to like get like nice shoots of something that I didn't get a shoot off, or something that I'm just like, oh, I'm vibing with this, let's do some selfies or whatever. Which usually happens late at night. Like most of my inspiration hits like, oh, 8 p.m. Yeah, let's do it. The lighting is terrible.
Yep.
The sun is gone. Like, take some pictures. I dare you. Take some good, crunchy pictures. I dare you. So that's typically like a lot of like my at least progress photos versus like when I like eventually get to do like a nice photo shoot or whatever. All of my progress tends to happen like at night because that's where I kind of like, oh, like the end is coming, like the end is coming, the day's finishing, you gotta get the most of it, so you're gonna start working now. And that's kind of what happens. It's like 8 p.m. All right, you have like 4 hours left before the day's over. Let's be productive. And that's kind of when it goes.
So it's kind of like cat zoomies, just
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, time to go. Time to use like the remaining of my day. So like, definitely, I feel more creative at night, which is not great for like taking pictures of any cosplays because like my lighting is bad, the sun is gone. Like I gotta pull out a ring light, and it looks really weird, and I'm a little sweaty. So it's something. It's an experience. But overall, it's like, oh, if a con is coming, yeah, obviously I'm like hype, boom, dressed up and everything like that. But in free time, it's mostly kind of like inspiration when like I feel like I have energy and I know that I have like a time dedicated, which usually is at night because like day jobs, streaming, all of the other things. That's kind of like I gotta be Batman. I gotta dress up at night.
I gotta be
enjoy
Batman.
myself. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like I get Batman. You know, he dresses up at night, runs around. That's kind of like me. Like, you know, I'm not rich. That's like the only thing we're not similar. And I'm not a man, so that's another like not similarity. But exactly. But do I dress up at night and do something? Yeah. That's kind of the case. So, but also again, it's all kind of because of like life and other things in the way. Like if this was a full-time position, yeah, probably I wake up in the morning, slap some amazing makeup on, go to a shoot, come back, eat, then do another shoot or stream or something like that. That would be a whole different situation. But current life says I gotta be Batman, and that's kind of what we do.
I gotta be Batman.
Life said you gotta be Batman, and I said, all right, I guess I'll be Batman.
I guess I'll take the burden.
I'll take the burden of being this cool, this awesome at night when nobody can see me.
Except for unlike Batman, most cosplayers do not have money.
Oh yeah, exactly. But hey, that's why it makes you look dope. Like you're like, oh yeah, I might be Batman. I might have. I spend all of my money on this cosplay. That's where all my money went. So if you want to rob me, steal my cosplay because that's worth more than whatever is in my wallet.
Yeah.
Like my figurine collection, probably worth more than anything in my bank account. So, if you want to rob me, just take my figurines.
Just
But
take
also
that.
just don't take my figurines. I love them.
Like, sir, that will get you killed. You do understand I'm the one with the gun, right? Yeah, but if you touch my figurines, that will get you killed.
Exactly. I will fight for them. They are my babies.
God, I almost got robbed going to my convention.
Oh no!
It was so funny though. He fucking has a knife because Canada no guns. He has a knife. He like has it at me. He's like, give me all your money. I'm like so dead with the world because I grew up in Toronto, so I'm used to that. And I'm looking at this freaking islander. And I'm like, what are you gonna do? Stab me? And he's like, give me your money. I'm like, I'm a cosplayer. I'm going to a convention. He was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Oh God.
He's like, I know the struggle. Never mind. I'm sorry. Here's some money back.
That's actually what he did. He was like, actually, here's a 20. You need it more than I do.
It's like true. I do. I'm about to drop like $300 on an art piece and some figurines.
Little did he know I had like $1,000 on me. I was like, oh, thanks, mate.
That's my lunch money.
Yeah.
$20. This can buy you a stick of gum at a convention.
Yeah, exactly.
Our conventions are where I'm from. It's really cheap. Like fucking pineapple. That's pineapple right now. Pizza and a pop, $5.
Okay, so it's literally your weekend's lunch money.
Yes, and the thing is, it was legit spending money because while volunteering, you get free food. You get your lunch free. I'm like,
oh, okay,
yeah.
Huh.
Well, I do believe the question. I do believe the question is yours, hostage.
All right. What was like the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you at a con?
Oh, most like a lot of weird things happen on the way to the con by like normal people who never experienced the cosplayer before. So I feel like a good portion of that comes from there. But one I guess kind of weird, a little bit weird. It was my first convention, Anime Next, dressed as Meiko, which is like a kind of niche Vocaloid character, unless you're like a hardcore Vocaloid fan and you love everyone equally. But there was this guy walking around with like different cards of characters, like I don't know, Mario, Princess Peach, and he had a Vocaloid cards. And then he like came up and asked like, "Oh, Meiko, can I get your autograph?" And I had no idea what to do because I'm like,
"Oh my god, I love those people. They're legit. Those people go around and have those cards and get cosplayers to sign it."
Yeah, which was like it was really cool, but also I was like, it was my first time at a cosplay, and like I was newbie, and I was like, do I sign as myself or do I sign as a character would, because I don't know, and like where do I sign? Do I cover the art? Do I sign in a tiny corner? So like it was a good wholesome moment. But also I was kind of like super confused by that because I was like, whatever. Some other time I accidentally stole an umbrella because some random person was trying to get to a panel and like rushed to get a signature, and they asked me, a random person in line, to be like, "Hi, can you hold this umbrella?" And I said, "Okay." And then they never came back, so I get to keep their umbrella. So that was like, okay, weird. You ran off and you left with an umbrella. I hope it doesn't have a tracking device or something. But yeah, most of it is just by like random weirdos on the street, where just people just dude bros coming out being all like, "Oh, hey, can I get a picture with you?" And they're just trying to be like, "Oh, let me just try to grab you or whatever," or like, "Can I get a kiss?" And I was like, "Why would I give you a kiss, you rando?"
Yeah,
No, leave me alone, please. So most of it just comes from people who are not familiar with the culture, but also just don't know regular human etiquette. Like, you don't approach strangers and ask them for kisses. Weird.
Ooh, is it pizza?
Ooh, pizza. So yeah, so it's kind of like that, I would say. Definitely there's always kind of like creeps at cons who just try to get you a hug, and they clearly haven't showered in 3 days, and you really don't want to give them a hug, but you also don't want to be rude or come off as
rude.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of like, oh, hi, sorry, no, I'm rushing somewhere. Goodbye. So that's kind of like the weirdy experience.
As someone who's working at con, always find someone with their badge that says volunteer or staff.
Yeah, exactly.
Find them. If you're being followed, you're being creeped out, find them. 9 chances out of 10, you're not the only one being harassed by that person.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the thing. There's some people who just kind of like don't know like how to approach or socialize people correctly, and it comes off a little bit weird and a little bit creepy. So it's kind of like, hey, like my basic thing, like when I'm at a con, I like if I see a cosplay, like I just say like great costume and just keep going, like just make their day. Say like, hey, like I noticed you did a great job, awesome, or like, hey, like I don't know, costume like or character I know, just like if you see like a Link or Mario or whoever, and you're like, hey Mario, and they usually say like, hey back, and you just kind of keep going and whatever after that.
See, the one tip I've heard that I've heard a lot of people have used is when you're walking and you think you're being followed, be on your phone like this, but be pulling up your camera and turn around and go click, who are you? So you already have a picture of who they are.
Ooh, okay.
Like,
that's
yeah, can I help you?
Yes.
And then if they decide to run off or get defensive about it, you can go to security and be like, yo, this person was following me.
That's smart. I'll take note of that. That's really good.
Yes, I've had that done.
That's really good.
I recognized it because it was like because the year before we end up kicking that guy out for being really inappropriate.
Hey.
Like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, like it only because like in my case, I never go to like a con myself. I usually have like friends who I'm meeting up there. Like I might be by myself only like on the way to a con, but like or like if like we're splitting up to like, hey, I'm gonna go shop, I'm gonna go to a panel, I'm gonna go elsewhere. So like I'm only alone for like an hour, 2 hours most, and then we like regroup again. So it's never like a case. Yeah, exactly. So it's never a case where I'm just like, oh no, I'm just approach and come do whatever. It's not the case like that. It's like usually it's like I come to a con with a mission, so I know what you're all doing, and in the end we're all regrouped. And then like when you start going to like cosplay parties or whatever, if that's like a thing, because in New York it's really big, you do cosplay after parties. Every single night, especially if it's a big convention. If not, there's usually like a Saturday where there's a party, but that's a whole different environment. Where one, if you're not a child, don't cosplay after parties. 99.9% are 18 plus or 21 plus. And that's a whole different case in there, but like at least there's people who actually run and manage the thing. So if somebody's being weird or someone is like being really creepy, you just go to the bouncer and be like, hi, kick out this person, please. And they'll just do that.
This person's being a dick.
Exactly. Yeah. And like as someone who like hosted parties before, there's clearly like I think I made a TikTok about that also. Where because like I got a hype, like I make rounds, I like make sure everybody's like buying drinks, like eating, having a good time, doing whatever. So there's also like some people who never been to a cosplay party, or people who just like happen to be in a bar before the party started, because it depends which company runs it. Because there's some companies who like reserve the entire bar for that night, so like nobody enters the specific area. And then there's some parties that like, oh, at this point we're just gonna set our DJ and the people are gonna start flooding in, and they have a bracelet, and that's how you know. So if that's one of those, there's gonna be a lot of regular people at a bar who get a little confused by what's happening, and they think that they think just because I'm like bouncing around saying hello to everybody and like checking on everyone and doing small talks, that's like, oh, you're interested. I'm like, no, I'm just making sure you're paying for your drinks because I get paid by that. So like, keep spending money. That's my job.
That's how this is just universal fuckboy thing.
Exactly.
It is.
Because like there will be people like that. So they're like that's like a whole other etiquette. It's a whole other black hole. But like there are people at like parties who like, because they're sitting in the corner and they're being weird, like a little kind of like lonesome. It's like, hey, you're at the party. Let's go introduce you to some people. Let's go do whatever, because like that's my job. Like I can't have people in the corner, because otherwise, like, why do you even come to this party if you're gonna sit in the corner and do nothing? Like unless you're taking a breather, which you can tell. But if somebody's just kind of like, oh, I don't know, like I'm just gonna do this, yeah, I'm gonna push you in the corner, and I'm gonna make sure you're having fun and get out of your comfort zone, because that's what we're doing here. But there's people who take it wrong. Like they like suddenly start following you on all social media because they thought that like now they have a chance with you, and I'm like, no, I was doing my job. Goodbye. This is not an invitation. that was not an invitation. You read the situation wrong, sir. So yeah, that's a whole other thing.
I just realized I've been eating this entire interview. There's food everywhere. I'm so sorry.
I'm looking. I'm just getting so hungry. I'm like ready.
Same.
I've got chocolate here. I've got
Pizza.
candy.
I got pizza.
Anything you want.
I'm so jealous.
Same.
I'm sorry.
I remembered I brought food with me.
Now I'm the hungry one. But I have to actually make dinner, so that will actually take time.
I mean, just the work.
Because it's like it's getting to dinner time here.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
I have
so
my.
you're in New York, you're in California, and you're in Canada?
Yeah.
The collection.
Cool. Okay, cool. I'm right.
All right, I think I have my final question. What is your favorite video game of all time?
Ooh. I am gonna say, it's hard because I like so many. Oh, can I do another ranked, or I have to say one? Do I have to pick one?
You can do whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan and Kingdom Hearts fan, so definitely Kingdom Hearts 2 is on the list. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this whole shrine dedicated to Kingdom Hearts. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely one of my favorite games. I can play that all the time, replay it as many times. Same with Birth by Sleep, but that's good. But it's not as iconic, I think, as Kingdom Hearts 2. Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 8, those are also two of my favorite things that I love. I'm a huge just Final Fantasy fan. And lastly, I would say Devil May Cry. That's another game that I very, very much like, very, very much enjoy. It's fun, and I would say those. I like a lot of games, but if I had to narrow it down, I would say this is the list.
I don't know either of those. Well, I kind of know Kingdom Hearts, but I'm not a video game nerd. I know Overwatch.
Overwatch is great too, but like story-wise, I really like those three. Like Final Fantasy IV, if you've never played Final Fantasy, it's pretty traditional. It has all of the classic classes like white mages, like black mages, dragoons, everybody else, monks. So like, and it has like a very good narrative story. So if you're like never played a Final Fantasy game before, because none of them are related to each other. So like Final Fantasy VII is not like a prequel of Final Fantasy VIII. Like they're all independent titles. But like a very classic class-based Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, and 4 are very, very traditional, and then they kind of go off and do their own thing, but the general basis is there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like turn-based strategy game. You gotta figure out how to work with your 4-player team.
Oh yeah, if it's multiplayer, I'd fail immediately.
Oh yeah, no, it's not, you control all of the 4 people. You just have to make decisions for all 4 people, yeah, in order to defeat certain bad guys. So you gotta have someone who like heals everybody, and then you have like one character that does like more damage, some other characters that do like more timed but powerful attacks. So it's a lot about like thinking of how you upgrade and level up your team, so that way you don't die and you progress with the story.
Okay, well, if you play all 4 characters, then I may not. I may be okay.
Yeah, it's very story driven. It's like a single player game.
Those are what I love, are the story ones, because Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is my shit right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is my shit right there.
That's my shit right there.
Netflix released season 2 of the show already.
What show?
Yeah, The Witcher.
The Witcher show.
Because they have the live action.
I need to do a Geralt. I need to upgrade my Geralt cosplay because my hair is white again.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
I'm 4'8" and like this big.
So it don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's funny because people look at my face, like I'll be on camera and all they can see is my face, and they're like, "That's a man," and I'm like, "Hi," and they're like, "That's not a man."
I love doing that. It's so much fun.
beautiful. It's just
Yeah, there's like an iconic video of, I forget which character it is, or from which series. It's kind of like a cat idol looking
I remember
character.
that meme.
Yeah, where canonly it is a guy, and there is a guy cosplaying this character, and there was like a video of someone approaching, he's like, "Hey there, cutie," and he like turns around and says, "Hi," and it's really good. It's like, "Oh, hey there, cute, and who are you?" And he's like, "Hello," and it's like, "Oh," and it's iconic. I love
I
it.
didn't expect this.
Definitely.
A surprise, but not an unwelcome one.
Exactly.
Well, I think I have the next final question.
All right.
And I would like to know, what are some things that you love to hear as a cosplayer?
I like any children interactions when they're just like, you see them excited because like they see like, oh shit, like this is the princess. Well, they don't see oh shit because they're a child, but
You'll be
I
surprised.
don't know what their princess say, because they may know that.
depends, yeah. But kind of seeing like the excitement of like someone being like, oh my gosh, like this is like a character from the screen now, like in real life. It gives me like a little bit of like a Disney moment when you're not like necessarily like a Disney character, because you could be like a cartoon character or a video game character, and this child like they've seen it or whatever, and they're kind of like, oh my gosh, you're that. So I very much like those kind of interactions, because like just seeing like that you brought like joy, or like even momentary, you made someone's day, because like you know that they're gonna go home and be like, oh, I saw like so and so like in real life yesterday, or like this day, like you know that you made like their day for that. And knowing that like you made someone's day like that's like one of the things that I very much like. And just hearing that, like, I don't know, like someone being inspired by my content, like it's not super often, but like I get comments like that, and like honestly, like that's just kind of like, oh, my whole day is made. But like somebody like not necessarily like constantly saying like, oh my god, you inspire me, but like I see them engage with my content, whatever, and then if we have like a whole like discussion or whatever, they'll be like, oh, like you inspire me to like also like be a cosplayer or be a streamer or be something like that, or like try new things out. Hearing that, like, oh, I like encourage someone to like try something new that they might have been like afraid to try before, because they were like afraid that they're going to be like judged, or like they will not be welcomed, that I was able to create like a safe space for someone to try and explore themselves in their own space and be kind of like welcomed by that. Hearing that like, oh, you like inspired and you encouraged me, and like thank you so much for like talking about like certain topics or creating like this like space, like it made me like do so and so, and like I was happy that I was able to do that. So it's like, oh, that like I'm glad that I was able to like help, like in the tiniest way, somebody out there in some way, and like they might not know me personally, I might not know them personally, but they felt like something connected, and they got to do something that they always wanted to do, or felt like they were welcomed in the environment. And that like that to me is like that's the goal. That's the reason I'm doing any of this, is that if it resonates with somebody out there, yes, thank you, that made my day. So hearing that
other people's day makes your day.
Exactly, seeing other people happy makes me happy, knowing that like they're living their best life.
Well, hell yeah, I like that.
Great. That's what we should be all doing. It's just being our best, enjoying the most on this planet.
Yeah.
You good, hologram? I almost called you hologram.
Hologram.
You good, hologram?
Okay, the crying didn't stop, but I fucking love that. I'm now hologram.
Yes, changing name to hologram. Hologram hostage.
That was the other one. I knew it was ha something, but I wasn't gonna call you ho.
I've been called that.
As long as everybody's on the same page of ho, then yeah, it's all good.
Yes.
I don't care what I'm called.
Mm-hmm.
I've been called Scooter for like a year.
Oh.
And Jamal.
I thought you were gonna say your mom. I was like, what?
No. Okay, my final question.
It's the final countdown.
Final question. Who would you like to see be interviewed next?
Ooh, well, there's quite a lot of interesting people in the community that I think. I don't know if you have not or interviewed yet or not. DJ Nikki.muffin. I think he has some pretty good views. Also with different, like, I don't know how many cosplayers of color you interviewed or not, because there's a lot of people like that who are super talented in the community that definitely deserve the spotlight. The list can go on and on of how many. Sarai Blue, for example, very, very great cosplayer and also a friend of mine, also New York based. Someone who recently started cosplaying, who got like really great exposure number and like been doing really great for the community of like opening it up more to casual cosplays, and also just like encouraging people to just like cosplay whoever you want. Fight the people who are being pieces of shit. Definitely great. OMG Junie, also very super talented, like literal king of gender bending, especially in anime. Absolutely love his work. He's also like recently started streaming, so. And he's playing Apex Legends. How dare he? He promised me to play Dead by Daylight, and he's not playing with me.
Apex Legends.
So yeah, so there's a lot. He's also on TikTok. So a lot of these people, Sarai Blues on TikTok. OMG Junie is also on TikTok. DJ Nikazem is also on TikTok. Who else? Like, that's just like on top of my head that I can think of, because I see their content like every single day. But there's a lot of great content creators, but I feel like you might want to do more exposure towards like male cosplayers, because there's a good amount of them, which I feel like also are really talented and might not get as many views unless they're like Leon Chiro super shredded, but there's a lot of very talented creators who are, of all shapes and sizes. Diamond Quality Cosplay, for example, also a very great cosplayer. Also, a lot of like plus size models who are still do cosplay. I feel like they should also get a lot of platform to talk about their things. Oh, I'm getting a call. I'll answer it shortly. But yeah, and also cosplayers of color, because like we need to make sure that we make a safe space for them, because for some reason some people think that only like of white and Asians are allowed to cosplay, which is not true at all. Like, who gave you that idea? But some people are like that, which is not true. So definitely we need to make more of a platform and a voice for people of color, people of all shapes, and also all sexualities too. So definitely any of these content creators will do great. But on top of my head, those are the ones I could think of. Just because like I know them and I see their content all the time.
I get sometimes when it's out of sight, it's out of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's so many. Like, there's so many creators. Like, I follow so many creators, so it's very hard to keep up. But like, that's the ones I could think of on top of my head.
All right, I think it is time for the outro. Unless anybody has any final remarks they want to say, or any shout outs they want to do.
The one about all sexualities, I fucking agree with that. Like, most people don't realize or even know, and I'm like not throwing it out there on TikTok, but I'm actually like gender fluid.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah,
I
we
really
should have
don't care
asked like
how
which pronouns, like.
I don't care for pronouns, like straight up. That's why I just said, well, technically dual spirited, where I'm native, but I'm just like, whatever you fucking see me as. You see me as a bitch, fucking call me a bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Boom, like, I'll take it. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
right?
see, that's also very important, because they're like, literally the community is so like diverse. You can't just kind of exclude that. We have everybody.
Cosplay is literally for everyone.
Exactly. Literally.
All right, it is time for the outro. Same as the intro, just slightly different.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching Cosplay Time. As always, I have been Chris, aka Mr. Zoom _2028.
Harley Francis, aka Harley_F.Quinn.
Caity, aka the hostage on TikTok.
And our special guest has been
Nikki, aka Nikki.Muffin. That's Niki Muffin.
Hell yeah.
All right, and thank
Peace
you
out,
all
guys.
for watching, and good night.
All right.